Hello and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land to the newest session of the Tal'Dorei campaign here at our channel. Now, before we jump right into the mix, we do have a few short announcements we have to make. The first announcement is I fucked up my microphone, I guess. Yep. Last night I streamed with a buddy here and I had to reposition everything, so everything's a little screwed up, but we're getting there. We're figuring it out. But anyways, hi, how's everybody doing today? Good to meet you. First and foremost, we have something that I really should work on updating. It's called Open Slots. If you are interested in playing in any of our games, we are a pay-to-play D&D community here that runs games now Tuesdays through Sundays, with Mondays being the only allocated day off for specific office hours, at least for the time being. My exact schedule is going to be solidified within the next few months or so, but this is now a transitional period for myself, so I'm making sure that we hit everything, hit all of our milestones, and really check out everything we're going to do. But if you want to be joining in on this adventure while we're still getting situated, be sure to reach out and let me know. We do have more open slots that just happened today and yesterday, unfortunately, but be sure to reach out if you want to join in. The games are a lot of fun, and there's a lot of people who are reoccurring players for a reason. That's all I'm gonna say. Outside of open slots, we also have projects. One second. Projects is a different command that you can do inside of our Twitch chat, where it tells you what I'm working on the side and other things that I might be participating in. As now I am a full-time content creator, nothing else that I do. I'm going to be advertising these much more freely. I'm also going to start allocating time to streaming me working on some of the books that I'm writing. So if anybody's interested in the long-term stories that I have and some of the worlds that are homebrews of myself, those books are being written that I'm going to be uploading up to the DM's Guild as well. So if you want to sit in and be here for that process, or even give in a little bit of your 2 cents, I'd be more than happy to have you jump in on that. The current project I'm working on is a one-shot called Murder of Savannah. This one's going to be free on the DM's Guild when I release it, hopefully by the end of next month. This month I'm finishing up the writing for it. I have the artist already working on the cover for it. Then I have to send it to a graphics designer. There's an entire process, but I'll be talking about that during everything else that I do. Hello, Jason Kirk. But yeah, if you're interested in jumping in and seeing what's happening, be sure to reach out and let me know. And lastly, of course, if anybody here has Amazon Prime, that also means you have a Twitch Prime subscription once per month for free. I don't say that you have to give it to me. I would appreciate it if you gave it to me, but give it to somebody. It's money that you take out of the pockets of the rich to give to the poor and the many out there who are doing things to create content for you. It's a nice thing. It's easy to do. All you have to do is link the 2 accounts together and push that subscribe button. It'll offer it to you right there, and every month you get to do it whenever you would like. Just be sure to use it whenever you can. Primal, thank you. I had a fantastic time off. Thank you so much for that. And Jason, my open slots are going to be expanding here in the future as well, so be sure to tune in for that. That is currently not fully up to date either. We are going to have even more of them. But I think that's everything I want to do advertisement-wise and talking about myself. Lauren, what happened last time here in, well, it wasn't Tal'Dorei, but go ahead.
Yes, last time we started off having had Alarn call out the fire giant, who turned out to be several times larger than what he had expected, and he thought he might have made a mistake. But the battle ensued, and after a close call, after being flung down almost into the lava by the giant, almost killing Lauren, the rest of the party managed to get him back up and get the giant down. And Jimmy thunderwaved the hammer out of the lava, making sure that we did not lose it. And quickly recovering, we went into the giant's lair, where his rather large double-headed puppy was sleeping off a cow it had just eaten. We looted as much as we could within the time we had left before we got stuck in the Shadowfell, and filled up what we had and gathered around Dorson, and he fidgeted with his earring and got us back into the prime material plane. right where we had left.
Yes. And
Uh,
as you have
yeah.
all landed there, sorry to cut you off, I just want to introduce this character a bit more appropriately for all of you. As you have all landed off, very firmly putting your feet onto the ground, and Yurik seeing his horse, taking the opportunity to revivify it, to bring it back to life. A long-term companion of his, probably been with him for many, many, many years. Very strong, powerful beast was brought back. And all of you took a moment to breathe in that breath of fresh air that you've been missing in your corporeal lungs for minutes? Possibly even a little bit longer? You're not positive. And as you're all catching your breath, you heard a very smooth voice that is familiar to few of you. Oh. Hello there. Nice of you all to come back alive. You turn your attention over away from the direction of the forest, where you see a short-standing man with long white hair flowing over the back of his neck and down past a simple black robe that stretches even longer, with a slim paisley trimming around a vest and trimmings of the robe itself. As he looks out at each of you, you see who is familiar to some of you as Magam Sangis.
And who might you be?
Hey Mitch.
Mitch.
You know this person.
Oh, I am companions.
Rosen cocks an eyebrow at the name Mitch.
I am friends with a few of your companions. Hello, Jimothy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm not expecting to see you out here. What brings you?
Well, I heard that you were all in my neck of the woods, and I sensed that one of my anchors had, well, died, so I came out to investigate.
You had an anchor here?
Well, yes.
What is an anchor?
It's typically something used in sailor terms to
I know
hold a
what
ship in position.
Yes, but I assume this is some more arcane type of anchor.
That is precisely what it is.
Jero, can I make some sort of check to figure out what the anchor was?
Roll an Arcana check. This DC is going to be 26 because of the limited information. There's a few different terms for anchor. Some of them are used as returning points when people are trying to travel out to the outer planes. Others are referred to as anchors or conduits for powerful magics. There's numerous different terms that it could mean, but without more information, you just can't really wrap your brain around it. Well, I was worried about what might be transpiring, so I came out in a hurry to make sure everything was fine. Hello.
Yes. It all went great.
Nice to meet Sir Yurik. Correct. And I don't think we've been acquainted before. Walks up to you, Alarin, and sticks his hand out to you.
My name is Laren. It is a pleasure to meet you.
You as well. You as well.
I think we've really been acquainted either, haven't we?
Oh, I know of you by reputation, sir.
Ah, right. Well, Yurik of the House Falcon.
I would not
As
dream
you
to
already-
refer to you without your deserved and earned title, sir.
Well, fair enough. Just so you know, Magam, Alarin, he's new boss.
His attention turns to everybody and goes, "Sorry, sometimes he calls me by my last name."
Oh, really? I wonder why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in this neck of the woods for some world-saving business of our own.
Oh, fantastic. Were you successful in your deeds?
Yes, it would appear that way.
Oh, that is wondrous. I'm so happy for you.
Well,
Jimmy,
Yeah?
The project we were working on, I had a little bit of an issue with as well. Would you mind looking over a few notes for me? Whenever you have the chance, of course.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Did you bring them?
I did, of course. He moves his hand behind his back and then pulls out a book, a tome riddled with notes and papers pressed into it. It looks like a typical student's textbook that they are just not taking care of and throwing all of their notes inside of, and goes, here you go. Page 326 will be the beginning factors of what I've been working on most recently.
Is there anything I can do to assist?
Well, you look very tired. Why don't you rest up a little bit?
Yes.
All of
I
you actually
believe-
look fairly tired.
Yes, we have just been through quite the ordeal.
Oh really?
We got one. We finally got one.
Did you know?
Shush.
Yeah. It was pretty big too. It's a big ol' hammer one.
He looks at the hammer that I assume Yurik is holding?
Dorzen is
holding.
Yeah.
He looks at it and goes, marvelous. May I further identify it for you?
I mean, we've got most of the properties. The only thing that really wasn't showing up seems to be this ethereal voice that, for whatever reason, it's not speaking to me, but it's talking to everybody else. I don't really understand how that works.
You know my expertise in lore. It could be compensation for your assistance in my project.
Yeah. You should let Magum take a look at it real quick.
Of course, if all of you don't mind. I just...
Go ahead.
Wondrous, thank you.
Yes.
I will ask the hammer if he wants to be identified.
The hammer does not respond.
And, well, also the hammer asked us to answer a riddle, I suppose it was. Or...
Yes.
Riddles are
its
always
question,
a blast.
Its question was, what is a weapon?
Curious.
Or what
Ominous.
purpose does a weapon have? Yes.
I'm not sure where the emphasis was. If it was, what is a weapon, or what is a weapon? What is a weapon? What is a weapon? Can be.
Alrighty then. He goes over and gestures for you to place the hammer down for him, Dorzen, on the ground. You see he has this little, like, back pouch that as he reaches hand inside, he concentrates for a second and starts producing all of these different manners of objects, lying them out plainly on the sunken divot that you all began this journey inside of as well, or that you've walked into while trying to enter the forest. He pulls out a large canter filled with this green bluish incense that's already starting to drift out as he just twists his fingers around it, and you watch as 4 large ivory strips, they look like they've been taken from the tusks of behemoths, just are all produced one at a time and placed around in triangles. Oddly to some of you and to others not odd at all, he slits the inside of his palm with his blood and starts dripping it onto the weapon, as well as everything else in this area. And as the blood sinks around, you watch as the incense drifts into this crimson-like color that circles around and swirls around this entire radius in about 10 feet, slowly growing and growing around. While he's doing this, are any of you doing anything?
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to ask real quick too is when we ended last session, he did have, you said, a companion with him.
He did.
Can Krissa take a look at that other companion that he has?
You look past him, and there's a short-statured young man. Looks to maybe be 13 to 14 years old, pulled back, tight hair, very ceremonious-looking jacket and vest over top, sitting with his arms crossed and very calm and looking at the scene. Incredibly pale for this region and does not seem to be speaking at all. He's just sitting there and observing.
Does
Do
he
we
look like
recognize
a certain...
him?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Dorzen and Prissa recognize him, yes.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Okay. yeah.
However, it is daylight outside.
Oh.
Hmm.
So, As he continues this, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Alarm will just take a look in the silver chest we found to see if it's empty or has
All right.
anything in it.
You go to lift. Seems a little jammed.
Like locked or
It's not
just
opening,
jammed?
but you don't see a lock.
Lauren, it might be wise to see if there's any possible traps on it first.
Yes, you might have a point there. Corvin, could you help?
When you take the time to look over at him, you see that he's been eyeing Magum and evaluating and like kind of moving away from him. Actually, yeah, you being the only person looking directly at him, you'd be the only one noticing that. But he looks over at you and goes, yeah. Goes over and places the chest down and begins trying to thieves tool his way around this and investigate it. However, that's going to take him a while to figure out as well. So,
Yep.
after the spell drifts and sinks into the maw, you watch as it grows and then shrinks down into a more reasonable size. He leans back onto his elbow, just staring at it, and goes, oh my. That is, interesting. Give me a few moments, it's talking. Fascinating. Cute. Very well. You found yourselves a very powerful object. You already know what it is. It is a vestige of divergence. Wait, wrong handout. Wrong area. Bad. It tried opening up on the other screen. It's not supposed to do that. This hammer seems to have been created right before the calamity. Which I'm sure you probably already knew, correct, Jimmy?
That's, yeah, when most of them are said to have been created.
But not all.
No?
No, of course not. This is called the Pyre Maul. It is a maul of legendary quality and strength, forged in a forgotten world, deep within the oceans surrounding this area. Apparently there is a forge there that they use to produce this. It is attuned to a powerful being that is inside of it. A champion or warrior of sorts to a god. Looks over at Jimmy. Do you know which god that is?
No, but the voice, so it doesn't belong to the creator of it. It belongs to someone else?
It belongs to the champion of the creator.
Of the creator. I see.
It might be a little.
How do you speak with it, though?
Well, I just summoned it up through my magic. It did not seem to want to speak to me initially, but my magic does allow me to have deeper insights, and upon my request, it relinquished these insights.
And who did it say created it?
The Allhammer. The Allhammer found a champion, a dwarf, and took them to this very ancient settlement, using them as a conduit during the creation of this weapon that was later used to carve out paths in mountains. Very interesting. It was meant to be used in battle against other beings. How do I put this? It's very good at destroying things that are needed in components for others. Think of it as a forging hammer. Just as the hammer can destroy an ingot and reshape it into a blade, this hammer can destroy essence and reshape it into what it must be, or what it is needed for. Discerned, of course, by the worthy wielders. Fantastic.
It's really cool.
Now, as he's legend lord this object, you see it is shrunken down to the size of a standard hammer, although it still has all of the same shape and components to it, but it is like a shaping hammer now.
So it's got combat form and crafting form.
You can assume that. Well, that was a bit of an expensive ordeal, but I hope you learned everything that you needed.
Yeah.
Well, do you have any insights as to what the answer to its question might be?
I'm not really one for theories or...
Really?
Of course not. I like facts. And I'm not really one into ethereal thinking. A weapon is a tool simply used to guide what the master needs of it. And as I am not an individual who's been particularly fond of using weapons in my time, I don't see a need for it. He lifts the hammer back up to you, Dorza, and goes, "Here you are."
Well, I'm sure you are fond of knowledge, and knowledge is a weapon in itself, right?
If you like to view it as that. I prefer to view my knowledge as a power of mine. Something that allows me to reach further than others.
Yeah. Well, let's not get into a philosophical debate.
I think that is what the hammer wishes you to do.
Yeah, I assume we'll have to do it at one point anyway. But
But anyways, I have a humble establishment not far from here that I can utilize whenever I need if you all require a little bit of shelter to recuperate before you go wherever it is you are going. Of course, Jimmy, I need you to identify and help me out with that problem as best you can before you leave. Thank you. But aside from that, it's nice to meet the two of you. Dorzen, it's been a long time.
How far were we from Falcone Castle?
3 days travel.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
How far away are we from was it Fort Daxio?
Longer. Much.
I was
like
about to
2
say.
weeks.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
far away.
Well, of course. Chance, you watch as the other individual perks up and looks at him. Would you mind gathering a few of their equipments for them and guiding the horse? He nods and goes over.
If he walks even a foot towards me.
He does.
Not me.
He nods and goes over to your horse, Sir Yurik, and starts strapping it up, securing everything for you, acting like a suitable attendant for this individual.
Yeah, my cat will be fine. It does not need any help.
Very interesting. Tell me, your accent seems a bit foreign to me. Where are you from?
Yes, I am from Marquette.
Marquette? I haven't spent a great deal of time over there, but I do anticipate going there in the future. Would you recommend anything that I go see? Any activities I partake in?
Oh, well, I only lived there for a short time before I started traveling. I was very young at the time. Things have surely changed.
Well, when the world calls you, you should answer, correct?
Indeed. Yeah.
Wondrous. May I ask, what is the work you are all currently working on?
Can Prissa insight check that question?
Sure.
Dorson leans over to Alar and's like, "Are we allowed to talk about that?"
Jimmy immediately spills the beans.
Of course he
Can I
does.
just do the cartoon bonk on the head with the hammer?
Sure. That's a lot of fire damage.
He was asking.
It's
You say you're working with Vox Machina.
yes. There's that being I mentioned to you before me and Jimmy had left. This Vorvik person. He's well, he's got quite a bit of history that we've discovered, and we have a
Vorvik.
Yes.
You mean the champion of the Raven Queen?
The fallen one.
That is information I did not have.
Oh, now that you have it, I suppose we can trust you not to spread it too much.
I'm not one for talking and relinquishing information easily. No.
Uh,
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Mr. Mitch is a very private person.
I am.
yeah. Would you mind if I ask you a question about another thing? You seem to be able to gather information. Have you heard of the Kiss of the Changebringer?
Roll an insight check. Anybody looking at him.
I mean,
I roll one again, or
This is for a different instance, so yes. Okay. Dorzen and Prissa. His eyes shift inquisitively, but Dorzen, you see more than just simple curiosity behind it. You see that he seems to be reaching for that information and plucking it from somewhere within the depths of his mind. Prissa, you see him more... It's not really like, oh, I just found out that somebody understands what string theory is. It's more of a, oh, somebody's inquiring about that type of curiosity that just flashes over his eyes quickly and then fades away. I've heard of such a artifact, yes. Another one of these vestiges. Are you gathering a collection of sorts?
Yes. The being we are trying to get rid of is quite powerful, and
Vorwick is quite a formidable foe for most mortals, yes. And even
yeah.
those that are not mortals.
Could I ask you, though, not to use his name?
it's a big thing about like if you say his name, it gives him power, kind of stuff.
The name
Yes.
holds power. Curious. As you wish, I will not speak his name. Let's just call him our mutual friend.
Yes, or the fallen servant also works.
I think I know quite a few of those. However, I may be able to gather a little bit of information about that in the near future.
That would be most helpful. If you could deliver such information to Prisa.
Of course,
you do
not for
find
free.
it. Of course.
you already
Favor
got
for a
your
favor,
payments.
maybe.
You got the name.
That is correct. And by me telling you anything, that is repayment.
Yes.
And by us and Vox Machina taking care of the threat is our payment.
A threat to whom? I assure you, them threatening places like Iman don't necessarily have a long-term effect on me.
Well,
Devastation is a thing that you get over shortly. With experience, of course.
If this entity should come into power as he wishes, it will not just be a simple city. It will be our entire realm.
Hmm. Sounds like quite a little mix-up you got yourself in, Prissa.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but I'm doing my best to help.
Now, I will be perfectly honest with you. I do not see a reason for the common people of this world to be threatened by this. That would actually be very devastating to everybody and anybody who has any influence or deeds within this plane of existence. However, I run a very simple system. Information for information, trade for trade, coin for coin. Everything has a price, everything has a value. And as such, that ensures that nobody is in debt for too long, as the way I like it. As the way I think, Dorzen, you also could have appreciated. You were only in debt to me for a few months.
Yeah. Well, of course, if there is any information we come over that would be valuable to you, to give you in return for your information about the case, we will of course give that to you.
Do you all agree?
Well,
I don't have any problem sharing information. That's
I don't have any problem either. Also, Mr. Mitch, sometime later, can I discuss with you some about learning some more spells?
Of course.
I've got some, and I can trade some that I made myself if you want.
Oh, that little thing you were working on. Were you successful in using it properly?
Yes, it confused my friends a little bit when I did it, but that was part of the point.
Good. I'd be more than happy to share with you. No problem. Everyone else, are you okay with this setup?
I would like to mention no information that might put the general public at risk, of course.
I never seek to destroy the general public at all. Consider it a code of mine.
Ah.
He looks at you, Yurik, expectantly.
fair enough, I suppose.
Good. We have a deal. Now, I do not know specifically where the Kiss of the Changebringer is, unfortunately. However, I do know a few attributes about it. It's a protective amulet, meant to safeguard the travelers of the realm, the people who seek out adventure and safety and homeliness, even when they are far from home. Beautiful emerald necklace itself is, as well as the very nice and pure silver chain encompassing around it. I think you would agree with me that that is reasonable to your patron, Ilarin, was it?
Yes, that is correct.
Well, the amulet itself was last seen 600 years ago. Not in Tal'Dorei, unfortunately.
Well, it is 600 years. It might have found its way here.
Possibly.
You never know.
Possibly. However, the last I was able to discern its location, it was towards the southern peaks of the Stormcrest Mountains, closer to the Riven Mist Jungle. There's a small settlement of wandering Goliaths that lived out there. Much different than many of the other ones in the area, though. They go from home to home and village to village to strengthen them and bring them prosperity and help them with their crops in times of need. And then they continue traveling back to the mountains and further away. They are also protectors of some of the more nomadic villages in those locations. Whenever foreign entities try infiltrating deep into the jungles, these Goliaths find them and kill them to better protect the people who live off the land and do not seek a governing over them.
Jero, can I do a history check based off my Vox Machina knowledge
If you would like.
about this?
And if you're asking me if it's that clan, no, it is not. It's a different one.
Apart from killing every outsider they see, I do like their mindset.
I'm sure they have their reasons. Everybody has a reason to kill, correct?
Yes, I would assume so. Sadly.
Prissa, on a 19, the information he gave to you did pique your mind a little bit. There was a study that you didn't focus terribly hard on during your time at the Lyceum. You know that there was a professor, can't remember which one it was, but there was a professor who traveled down there to do some more research, who befriended a few of the individuals and managed to actually live amongst them for a few months, maybe a year. Can't really remember that far. They're very loyal people, but very free-loving and freeing people as well. They know what civilized society can do to nature, and they don't like that.
So they're like the druids of Goliath kind of thing?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think there was a professor at the Lyceum that talked about them once. I can't quite remember their name.
Chelsea.
Was that was that Mitch saying it, or?
Mitch did say it, yes.
Oh.
Chelsea is his name.
Oh, Professor Schulze.
You know, he taught arcane deflection specifically for many of the warcasters who wanted to adventure into the world. That was his specialty, was arcane deflection. And good for you to actually paying attention to that long-winded story. I hear many people that listen to it really cannot stand it.
Well, I always like to learn. It's,
Good.
Oh.
Inquiring minds is how you make sure you never grow old. Jimmy, have you figured anything out yet? Roll an investigation, please.
It's a mess. 14.
It is a mess. Rifling through everything, he seems to have gathered this up very hastily. He's a very well-organized individual, but he seemed to have gathered this with great haste and thrown it all together.
What's the nature of the problem, though, Jero?
It's the continuation of the project that you, he, and Prissa worked on during the break. During your downtime. However, he seems to be trying to draw a new original aspect from it, tying it to a caster of a specific spell. You can't really glean anything further than that because you need more in-depth knowledge of what spell it is, what the nature of the tie is supposed to be, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
I mean, I'd probably do better if we can sit down for a bit, because I gotta grab a few of my books. Corbin's got all my stuff.
Well, how about we go to my little home first? Get a little bit of shelter, a little bit of food, water, wine, if that tickles anybody's fancy, of course.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I'm not trying to twist your arm. If you all want to go out into the world on your own, go right ahead, but...
Oh, no, I'm coming with it. I was just about to offer, I still have some flasks of this special apple juice I have.
We've talked about this. It's not apple juice. Mostly it's not apple juice. But anyways, he turns on his heels and begins walking away.
How far has Corbin got with opening this chest during this whole conversation?
Yeah.
Good question. Good question. Let me roll that.
chest itself is worth a crapload. Whatever's inside must be great.
I'm gonna do my best to follow him, just looking down at the notes, looking up, trying not to.
He can't figure out how to open it.
Oh,
He seems
think
very confused by this. He's like, dude, this is...
He can use this inspiration.
No, he can't.
Prissa will go over to it.
Yeah.
I still had these. I didn't want to use it unless I had to, and I'm going to use one of the chimes of opening that Tessa gave me.
Okay.
Forgot about those.
The chime of opening.
Huh.
Alrighty. Ding! The chime crumbles, and you hear click on the chest. Corvin reaches, tries opening it, doesn't open. You got one of the locks.
Oh! How many more chimes do you have, Persa?
One more. I guess it would be worth it.
Yes, it
That's
would appear that
entirely
way.
your decision.
All right, and then I'll ting the last one.
Ding! Crumbles to pieces. You hear another unlatch. This time he lifts and the lid slides 3 inches. Somebody really doesn't want people to get in this.
Why don't you try again now, Corvin? It should be a bit easier.
Are you all joining me? Magum and Jimmy apparently are still walking away.
Oh, sorry. And Prissa will, with her little legs, start running after. Sorry, they were just trying to open something.
Corvin's going to lift the chest and go, when we get there, I'll look at it. This is
While we're
frustrating.
walking, can Dorzen ritual cast detect magic on it?
Sure. There's no magic. Yeah, no magic. So, you all keep walking, and you make about 30 minutes or so before you see a tiny shack. The shack itself has a blazoned or burned marking of a half-crescent moon, where the other half of it appears to be a sun with strips streaking out of it as you all start walking towards it. It looks twice the size of a porta potty at best, and as you walk over, he opens the door and just walks inside.
Prissa walks in right after him.
Alrighty.
I guess I'll follow their lead.
As you all step into the porta potty, it opens up into a 30 by 30 room in total. A simple table is set up in the center of the room, with 2 chairs at it. Both the chairs seem to be pushed in properly, and a meal in front of one of the chairs with a cushion is currently set up and looks mostly eaten at this point. Around the edges of the room, there appears to be one specific corner with a bedroll already rolled out on it, a hammock lying above that bedroll, just very slightly, and 4 large workstations, encompassing the rest of the outer corners of this room, with different alchemical supplies, arcane infusions, tinkering obstacles and objects as well. And there's one additional door that has 3 locks on your side, against the back far wall. And as he walks in, he goes over to the chair, pulls it out, and begins removing his boots and putting them down, and goes, very relaxing. Welcome.
Prissa removes her shoes, and quick question, Jared, does this look like the same kind of mansion that we were in when we were in the Underdark, or is this a new one?
This is not a magnificent mansion. However, roll me an Arcana check, Prissa. This is, however, an extra-dimensional expansion. It is not a new space. You're on the same plane of existence, but you notice the runic markings that adds a expansive nature to the area inside of this room. So it does look like a small outhouse at best, but in all actuality, it has some powerful illusionary magic on the outside that people probably wouldn't see through it or be able to get through.
The runes are really well done, Mr. Mitch. She says as she's taking her shoes off. And
Thank you. Everybody, shoes off, please. I like to keep things clean here.
Dorzen lifts
I
up his
apologize for the
horseshoe.
smell in advance then.
Prissa prestidigitates Dorzen's horseshoes. So
There's
they're
no
clean.
snow on it.
Yeah, Yurik has the stinky feet. Curse of being a human who had to fucking
his
walk.
horse.
Do you leave your? I assume you leave your horse outside.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
Trust
You
him
could-
to take care of him.
Yes.
Does that mean that we have to make Constitution saves after Yurik takes off his shoes?
Nah, probably not that bad. If I was really fucked up, you all would have had to done that when you woke up because you died for a little bit. Y'all shat yourselves.
Yeah.
But anyways, as you're all inside and he's sitting down at the table, you watch as the attendant comes over beside him and starts rubbing his feet for him. One at a time as they're just lifted up slightly.
I'm just gonna use this area over here, and Jimmy like sets the papers down on one desk. He starts taking out his tinker's tools, puts them on another desk. He basically takes up a whole corner of this area and starts like moving back and forth between his different pieces of work.
Use whatever is necessary, Jimmy. It's no problem. You know
Given
your
that-
way around this shop.
Given that,
Once I finish this, Dorzen, if I can, I'd like to take a look at that hammer again too. There's a lot of things I need to experiment with it.
Yes, Prissa?
given that part of this project did have Chris's involvement, can Krissa go and help him out a bit? Maybe help speed it along. Or
When
at
you
least-
go over to start helping, Magnum goes, Prissa, I thought you and I were going to reflect on some notes. I think Jimmy's more than
Oh.
capable of handling that.
Yeah, I'll let you know if I. Hold on, is this a 7 or an L, Prissa? I can't. Sorry, your handwriting is a little.
Oh, that's a 7.
My
Okay,
handwriting is impeccable, young man.
And I go back. No, but this is a Prissa note, so
Yeah. Oh, Prissa.
I-
Okay, that's understandable. Yeah.
yeah. Like me, Prissa, we've all worked on this, so we've got
Yeah.
All right, just staple the notes together so it makes sense.
Jimmy's next project, a staple gun. He fucking needs it. But as you all walk in and sit down, he goes, make yourself at home. You're gonna have to set up your bedrolls just on the floor, anywhere that's reasonable. This shack was only made for 2 individuals. I apologize for that. Sorry it doesn't have more space, but you are as safe as you can be out in the middle of nowhere while inside of this. Only people who know we are here will be able to enter in.
And the horse.
Your horse outside?
Yeah. Do you have a safe space for him?
I don't, unfortunately. However, Chauncey, you watch as the individual perks up. Go watch the horse and make sure that it's safe. Kill anything that goes to attack it. Nods and walks outside.
Certainly come a long way.
And 9 Lives will inform me if there is anything going on outside as well.
Fantastic. You are still on the same plane of existence, so you can still communicate. It's just
Yeah.
an expansion. So.
And quick question: where do we keep in all that loot that we got again?
There,
Corbin.
I know
the
s-
thief has a bag of holding.
Yeah, Corvin
Oh, yeah,
has
no,
everything.
Oh, then, no, I thought. Oh yeah, Pris also has stuff in her coin pouch of holding too.
Oh
Doesn't
yeah.
she?
You took all the coins. He kept everything else. But I think you
Yeah,
all
okay.
labeled it down in party loot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Just making sure because I need to pay back Magum for helping me out with some stuff.
I think Prissa has all the coins on her sheet, and we just have the gems and stuff in party.
No, yeah, I added the assorted coins in party loot as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
As Corvin leans down to the chest and starts working on it
I
again.
cast guidance on him to help him.
Thank you.
And I will help him if I can.
Do you have proficiency in thieves' tools?
I do not.
Then you
Can
cannot
have
help
double
him.
guidance?
Can I,
would.
can I
No.
can I give him my
Eric gave him
inspiration?
guidance.
No,
I can give him my
he's an
DM
NPC.
inspiration.
He's NPC mode. Sorry.
I would have Professor Urich or Dr. Urich go and help Gurinsky by handing him tools or something.
That's
but
Is
fair.
that with the
Dead.
D4?
He's dead, unfortunately, I think.
Can I use command to just command him to succeed?
took
Lasts for 6
everything
seconds.
I have
Well,
not
so-
to mitigate that
Okay,
Jim's
he got a
got-
29. He unlocked it.
Okay.
Nothing
unlocked
in this
it.
world.
Everybody in this room, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Shit.
Ah, damn it.
Did we ask him to search for traps first
He
before
did.
this? Oh, okay.
You don't see this trap. It's on the inside.
Dexterity. My.
I just realized my
Not a very
dice aren't right here.
dexterous
I'll be right
horse.
back.
Fairly sure I probably made that, so can it be like Prissa is looking and is like, wait, Corvin, I think there's a, and then it goes off.
Hindsight is 2020.
Yep.
Actually be able to succeed at this.
Big was
Sorry about that. Okay. Prissa, Alarin, and Sir Urich are all successful.
Yep. And
Does Magnus have to make a save?
That's why I got my dice.
Ah.
I'm not telling you what his modifiers are yet. Magnum
Yeah,
is
fair enough.
successful. The other
plus
guy's
4
not
if
in here.
you're close to Alarin, but I don't think it will.
What are
help
the
any-
saves for Magum's notes?
We'll get to that. Plus 4 will not help anybody. No.
Nah.
Worth a shot, but you know. Had the possibility of helping them. It's not a terribly high DC. I mean, 17 beat it.
Yeah.
That is going to be 22 points of frost damage. As
Was
you
it a spell?
no, it's a trap.
Yeah.
It's magical, but it's not a spell.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a magically set up trap. As he lifts it open and finally finds the grooves with his thieves' tools to click in the last lock in position that seemed to be up underneath it, and it flips open, you watch as this tiny crystal ball inside shatters and this huge bloom of frost emanates outwards and hits the entire room. Those that you were successful, you will take half damage. Everybody else, you take the full damage, and I need you all to give me those of you that failed, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Half was 11.
Yeah.
All right, so Jimmy and Dorzen were the only failures. Jimmy, as this happens, you feel your entire body freeze over. Dorzen, you feel the frost encompassing your body and growing across you, but you manage to quickly wipe it off of your body before it actually solidifies and holds you still. Magum looks over. What's in the Jimmy?
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Would
can't
the
talk.
plus 4 have helped Jimmy?
Would the plus 4 have helped Jimmy?
I don't know. I
Would've
don't know what
made it a
the save
16.
number was. I rolled
16 is just barely a success. All right, you can talk, you can move. You felt the same thing. You managed to just quickly... You've had burn marks before, buddy. And you wipe it all off, and Magan goes, "What the fuck was that?" Glaring at Corbin, and Corbin has a sweat across his brow looking at Magan right now.
Yeah. It looked like it was trapped in some way.
I encourage you to be more careful next time.
If you have any other boxes, I'll be more than happy to open them as soon as I finish this.
Right.
Safely, I might add.
Gather around here and I'll take care of your wounds.
But was the trap the only content, or is there more?
As a point of order, who was sitting relative to Magum?
I think Prissa was near Magum at this point because they're about to start discussing these things. And
Okay. Anybody else?
I was off in the corner. I'm not sure where he.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
I always count Jimmy as not paying attention.
Yes, exactly.
So
Dorzen's in,
only
the center
Prissa.
of the room.
Prissa, roll me a perception check.
Okay.
What'd you get?
Nat 20, 23.
Okay. You see the frost across his arms that like shattered against his skin. You see the red marks of everybody else where they got frost bites, and his skin kind of just shifts, hardens, and then softens back into its natural state.
That's
Is it
not
really-
normal, but
No, it is not normal.
But I mean, I know him probably longer than everyone else in this party now.
Yeah,
So-
just about. Yeah.
So I mean, and since I did spend my break or whatever with him, would I know that he can do that? 'Cause
Nope.
I think
You've never seen Magum get hurt before.
Okay.
So,
that's not true, because I remember that whole trap with the safe.
I
yeah,
sit down
he didn't
to
suffer
cast-
any wounds from that.
Oh right.
So,
Sit down to cast Prayer of Healing with minimum effort, apparently.
yeah, you're just like, you're so fucking done. You're like, God, please. And Corbin looks inside where he reaches into this large chest. Seeing the 3 locks, there appears to be a tiny journal in here. Picks out the journal and goes, "You've got to be kidding me. Someone hit a fucking book," and just tosses it.
Can I try to
Look.
grab it?
Yeah.
I was
moment
gonna
Krista
grab it
hears-
as well.
I was gonna say the moment Krista hears book, can she mage hand to grab it?
All right, both of you give me dex saves.
Yeah, I didn't think I was winning that.
Does that include Krista with the mage hand? or
Yes,
no?
yes. You with the mage. Actually, you give me a spell no, it's still dex save. It's your reaction. Okay. Both of you at the same time, like reaching out, mage hand stripping up. You just see the cat person across the room, grabbing it and landing on the ground. That was
Somehow he got a fish in his mouth.
that was comical.
Eh, Never a wrong time for a bit of comedy.
Can I read that when you're done?
Yes, of course.
What languages do you understand, Alarn?
I will link them to you.
Thank you. You can't read it. You open up the first page and you see that this is a diary of sorts, a handwritten ledger of somebody's, but you can't read it.
Well, I can't read this, so here you go, Prisa.
Thank you. Can I just briefly look through it real quick, see if I can understand the language?
Sure.
with
What
my
languages
mind?
do you understand? Ah. Nope.
All right.
Can Dorzen look over her shoulder?
What languages do you understand that aren't on that list?
Primordial and Sylvan.
Oh, would you look at that? It is written in Sylvan.
Yay! I can read it.
Really? What's it written in?
Sylvan.
The
Oh,
first
oh,
language
man.
you learned.
Well, yeah, you can read it first, Oz, and I'll read it afterwards. But in the meantime, I'll be with Mr.
If
Mitchie.
this is that freaking Giants fan fiction, I'm gonna lose my shoot.
Oh, he was primordial, not Sylvan. But anyways, the name at the beginning of this book is entitled to The Wanderer. The weary wanderer of multiple realms. It is a recounted journey of an individual who has traversed through many different planes of existence and the different journeys that they have encompassed there and the different people they've been able to convince to follow in their beliefs and follow in their duties. This individual appears to be trying to gather up forces for themselves, for some type of deed that they would need to do on their home plane. Though they never write their true name. Roll me an investigation, Dorson.
I mean, as a person, I have an idea.
Sure.
23.
They never write their name. However, this person spent a time a little bit of time on a plane of existence called Faerun. You've never heard of Faerun before. Sounds, I mean, Fays and the names are probably better than this place. But you don't know anything about that area. Apparently, they spend a great deal of time in a place called the Sea of Dragons. And while in that location, they were able to meet many different original walkers of this plane and teach them different ways of magic and attributes in order to better qualify them for the knowledge of the world surrounding them and everything that they can learn as well. Dorzen, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, crap.
This is a charm effect, and you are a Fae.
Oh, I haven't earned right.
+4 if 12 does anything.
Wow.
So, Prissa, Dorzen likes this book a lot. He's just reading it. Everyone else, I mean, Dorzen, you like the book a lot. You're reading it from cover to cover.
That looks like a really gripping book, Dorzen.
You can talk still. You can act normally, but you are reading this book until you finish it.
Freaking mothers.
I'll be sure to read it after you're done, Dorzen. Okay?
Make sure to take precautions. I can't stop.
Oh no, you can't say that. You don't know you're charmed.
Oh, I can't. Okay.
No,
I misunderstood.
no, you don't know you're charmed. It's just you think this book is really good, so you're not going to stop reading it. That's how most charm effects work. You just justify it to yourself.
Yeah.
But
So-
then immediately afterwards, hindsight 2020.
Yeah, you're
Well,
like, oh fuck.
So, have any of you guys heard of a place called Faerun?
Should I? No, I doubt it.
You would not have the worldly experience to know about it. It's not a scholarly thing to know. And
would a world traveler have heard anything?
roll me a history check. You would have the possibility because your backstory is literally, I travel the world.
Not the best history though. Just for fun, I'm gonna use the session inspiration for this.
Okay. In fact, who was the one I gave all the information to about the knowing mistress and her coming to this plane of existence? And the traveler and them?
You mean Prissa?
That
Was that given to Prissa?
yeah, I
I'm
think
fairly
so.
sure it was because afterwards she made a whole ice pack thing and steam was coming off because there was so much information.
Yeah, I got the information about
The Changebringer bringing everybody here.
Yeah.
The Changebringer originally came from Faerun while you were reading it.
Mm-hmm.
That is where the Changebringer and many of the primary deities come from.
Yes. From what I recall, the gods we have in this realm came from Faerun.
So,
How's Magus deal with that
Can I roll
information?
a religion check on that?
sure, go right ahead.
Would that be information to your liking, Magnum?
Mitch.
You
You know him as Mitch.
you don't know that. It's
Mitch.
Oh yeah, Mitch.
It's fine. It's
Well,
fine.
didn't someone just say it though out
He-
loud?
Jimmy
Well,
said that was in. He covered that as his last name.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
and you're not a disrespectful shit, so.
No, I am not. So I
Yeah.
would have gone with Mitch. Sorry.
Yes, it's fine. On a 20, and I will get to what you just asked him. On a 20, it does coincide with what you all read, or what they all read, because you were just guiding people the whole time. You weren't reading. And what they told you while they were inside of that library in the Shadowfell. It does seem indicative to that. However, Magum looks over at you and goes, I'm very much aware, thank you. That appears to be a diary of somebody who came from that place then, Dorzen?
He went to a lot of places. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these names.
Curious. When you're done with that, and when Pris is done with that, do you mind if I take that off your hands and trade some information for it?
Does the charm make me want to keep the book?
No, it makes you want to know about it.
Sure, I guess.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna keep doing this until you tell me to stop.
Oh yeah, we'll get there. 5 hours later. So Jimmy, roll another investigation check. 22. Now roll me an Arcana check.
27.
Good. I'm just going to tell you what it is he's working on because you figured it out, not just the information specifically. The golem-like creation that you helped him produce, it is meant to be a conduit, a connection between life itself and it. He's been trying to animate it with life to bring about the existence of this creature and to make it imbued and powerful enough to be an actual person. However, he's trying to tie it to his own life. He's trying to make it imbued with him. Not really to relinquish his own being, but to create a copy of himself, a simulacrum of sorts.
Dorzin, I'm gonna need that vestige.
You can't stop turning pages. You can while reading grab it and toss it, but you can't stop reading.
I walk up to Dorzin, please.
Hey Joe,
Do you need it? I do need him.
I reach down slowly.
I cannot stop you.
And I grab it slowly, and I'm pulling it away. Thank you. And I walk away.
Yes, Prissa?
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's slowly because it's a mall, but it's oh yeah, it's in crafting form, so you're fine.
Mm-hmm. It looks big for Jimmy, but everything looks big for Jimmy.
Seen, Jimmy's been this enamored with research before, so I assume Dorzin's just kind of in the same thing.
Yeah, he found something he likes.
The only thing I wanted to ask was, so it's kind of like a lich in their phylactery, but not that, the life version of it.
The spell that copies you.
It is a literal spell that creates a clone, a copy of himself.
Oh, so this is simulacrum. It's just...
Yeah, it is. He's trying to create a simulacrum.
Neat.
Yeah. Sometimes people roleplay learning spells.
So, Jimmy's gonna have a long night, just so you know. I plan on going potential exhaustion, because there's a lot of stuff I have to do. And knowing now where Magum was going, I think I know the next necessary step to take. So.
Awesome. Jimmy, have you been able to catch up on what I've been working on? You don't need to say it out loud, just confirmation is fine.
Yeah.
Good. What do you think the next steps are going to be? I believe the failsafe, the heart of sorts inside of it needs to be more power.
It's all about scale. So we're gonna go small, and if that works, I think the voice thing. You said it was a champion. Getting that in there is definitely something I haven't yet attempted, but it's an idea. So I'm gonna see if I can try to replicate something like that, but we're gonna go obviously not something as impressive, but we'll see what'll work.
Awesome. I'll go help you with it. And he comes over and begins attempting. About 3 hours into Dorzin reading the book, the entire time, you watch as Shanti comes back in, dragging a large bear by its foot and just drops it into the room. Oh, Chauncey, you brought dinner. Do you mind preparing it for us? Nods and goes to work on it.
The little one doesn't speak much, does he?
No, he does not.
A quick question, Jared, too, since I thought we were doing spells with Mitch, but since he's working on that, during those 3 hour wait, can I have used an hour of that to find familiar ritual cast?
Absolutely. And it's only 10 minutes to do find familiar.
Yeah, ritual cast is 1 hour.
Yeah, with ritual cast. Well, no. Ritual cast is 10 minutes, but
Plus
this
1
Find
minute
Familiar
casting
spell-
time.
The Find Familiar spell though is an hour, I think.
Thought it was 1 minute. Whatever.
I'll
Regardless,
double
yes, you
check.
can. Regardless, yes, you can. And you're bringing back an owl again?
Let me think on that one real quick. I might change Dr. Yurkin to something else this time around. I
Okay.
accidentally clicked that.
I always believe that rituals added 10 minutes, not an hour. Because if so, that becomes...
Oh no! The Find Familiar spell
Takes 1 minute.
No. It takes 1 hour. The
Oh,
Find Familiar,
okay, gotcha.
and
I thought...
it's additional 10 minutes for the ritual cast.
I got you.
It's only I remember wrong then.
Yeah, it's always been 10 minutes, I believe. But anyways, while that is happening, Yurik, Alarin, the two of you are relaxing. Corvin's kind of like in the corner doing what he usually does and just watching things.
Yeah.
Are we getting anything out of this book?
Oh, you're getting a lot out of this book. I'll get to you in a minute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alarn will just be relaxing and drinking some wine. He doesn't have much to really think about.
Preparing my new spell.
Okay.
Spell slot, basically.
So, during this time and during the working, doors in, 3 hours go by. You've learned this individual has a quality to them. A remarkable quality to them, in fact. One that makes people really want to follow them, listen to them. And they talk very consistently about how they walk into different communities, different towns, and when they find people who are reasonable in nature to their own, they start talking to them and coaxing them. And it seems like every single person this person notes down wants to follow them, wants to walk alongside them, will walk into battle, into fights, into wars, will abandon their families for this individual. It's a strange thing, but they don't speak of themselves as doing this ominously, which is a bit odd, but you know some fays are really good at charming people, but the way they're referring to it in their own personal right and hand, they're not charming, they just have that effect on people.
Like a leader kind of thing.
Maybe. If that's how you want to look at it. But during this time, the bear is prepared and everybody is brought out a plate of food. The bear's cooked well done. It's not very well cooked, but it is cooked. And you're all given the meat to enjoy as well. Alrighty. After a few more hours go by, the exhaustion from the previous day, dying, and the grueling fight all cascades onto you, and some of you are probably getting ready to go to bed, right?
Yeah.
Krista, don't worry. Jimmy and I are going to keep working. I'll get to you in the morning, alright?
Sounds fine. Joe, do you have an answer to the question I whispered to you on the thing?
Oh, I did not look at that. I don't even know what the fuck those are.
Basically a unicorn bunny or a flying cat.
Absolutely, you can turn it into a unicorn bunny. Absolutely.
I absolutely turned Dr. York into an Almirage.
Oh, Almirages are so cool.
Sure. It doesn't have any of the special abilities, but we'll count this as an eagle. Like a standard. Or hawk. Hawk is the familiar one, yeah.
Well, I mean, they don't really have anything special except the keen sense with smell and I think hearing.
Yeah, they're...
Oh, well then fine. It just has that then.
Yeah,
You can't fly then, okay.
Almirage is a bunny with a horn, basically. and keen senses. The flying cat would have been something special.
Well then, you now have a bunny with keen senses and a horn.
Yeah, and the reason she changed it to a bunny this time was because she's tired of sending him off and him suddenly dying. She just wants him nearby, and he's like.
So now you have Professor Hornrick?
Yeah.
Woo!
So, 8 more hours go by. Everybody else has fallen asleep except Dorzin, Jimmy.
Sorry, one last thing I want to do is before Prissa goes to bed, she is gonna use her, I guess it has to be 5th level, to cast a sending spell to Pike.
Okay. What do you say?
Hi, Pike, it's Prissa. We're back. We got a vestige. And we learned stuff. How much more do I have?
5 more.
5 more? About you know who.
Oh, hi, Prissa. Thanks. That's fantastic. Feel free to let me know what it is. When you can. Good night.
Yeah, Prissa. Good night. I know she can't hear it, but she says that, and then she snuggles up with her new horned bunny.
The horned bunny will eat some of the bear meat as well. No problem.
Wait, am I allowed to eat while reading this?
Can you eat while reading a book normally?
I mean, yes.
Then yeah.
I was wondering if it was allowing me the free hand to go eat it.
Yeah. As long as you're holding on to the book and you are focused on reading, you can do whatever. So, during the evening, Dorzin, getting really tired, but God, this book is so suspenseful, you can't put it down. It's just so good. So good. Jimmy, Mitch looks at you and looks back at Dorzin and looks back at the work and goes, so what do you think of the project? How's it going?
I think I can get something working, but it's gonna take a lot more time. I don't understand really the whole idea of
Replicating myself?
well, that's just it. I don't know if it's like a rendition of you or if it would actually be like you. Like
It'll be me.
It's like the difference between, I guess, painting somebody and having them stand inside a frame, you know? Like, they might both look the same from a distance, but it's not.
Oh, don't worry, it'll look just like me, no problem. I have that part already figured out. Here. He pulls out a small gem. It's a ruby that's very valuable. And it seems to have been infused with some very archaic magic, and it has this moving texture inside of it just roaming around. Whereas, and again, your sole focus is on the book. Like, you can hear things around you, but you're focused on them. See that area right in there? He points to the center cavity inside of the chest.
Yeah.
Alright. I want to try something. Place it in. And adjust it with the hammer.
The handle.
The hammer.
The hammer. I'll give it a shot. Are we actually working on like a chassis of sorts, or
it actually, in fact, when everybody else is asleep and Dorzin's focused, he takes you to that locked door, unlocks it, opens it, and you both go back there where the simulacrum is currently held.
Gotcha. Okay, so now we're looking at
The actual project he's been working.
yeah. And seeing that, Jimmy's first reaction is like,
Well, you are the one who created most of this. Physically, of course.
well, each of the pieces, but I didn't know you put them all together.
I've been working on this for quite a while, Jimmy.
Yeah, looks good.
So, if you would.
And I'm like reaching up on my tippy toes, probably trying to.
Brings over a step stool for you, no problem. He knows how to work with you at this point. There's plenty of ladders, step stools, everything.
I was just eager to get it in there. Cause
Yeah.
I want to see, yeah. So,
You place it in there, grab the hammer. It vibrates through the entire creation. You watch as the flames spark off of the hammer and encompass into the entire creation. And the creation then subsides.
That wasn't unexpected, but
Try it again.
I'm gonna use Trudy, and I reach back and I grab my my Tinkerer's hammer and give it another hit.
Dink, 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 dink. I mean, it's in its position, but
For clarity too, this hammer is my tinker tool. It's my magical one. So I'm trying to suffuse it with a little bit of magic, give it like that jump start. So like hit it with a mending cantrip or something.
Give me a spell attack.
Sure. Easiest thing, roll 1d20 plus, what is my proficiency thing? 8, so 15.
Got a little bit of extra oomph in there and goes,
No.
I think the Pyramol is much more powerful.
Yeah.
It is an object meant for creation.
It's just you never know until it's too much, right? And I take it back out and I hit it.
I never knew you to be cautious of inventing.
Yeah, but curious, of course. I wanted to know if I could hold Trudy.
He takes 2 big steps back.
as I'm saying this, and I'm like, okay, bam! I hit it again.
Give me another spell attack with this. This time, add an additional +1.
You said plus
1.
1. So that'll be plus 8, 9, so 20.
You find a nice little curve to the tink, and you watch as every mechanical component of this thing shifts and starts vibrating. And as it does, Magum pushes you out of the way, slits a deep cut into his palm, and smears it against the gem, where you watch as the creation of the entire simulacrum solidifies and turns into a perfect copy of him.
Careful! Oh,
The Magums both turn to you. Well, thank you, Jimmy. Yes, thank you. It's wondrous for you to help us with this. Very good.
I look at them and I say,
Oh,
heresy and flame strike.
Come play with us, Jimmy, forever and ever and ever.
Well, that was fantastic.
the gem. I didn't. It wasn't in the notes. How did you get the? Wow.
There are certain things that more archaic minds need to focus upon. The mechanicals I needed you for. This I could do myself.
Well, and this guy apparently.
It's a marvelous artifact. Be sure to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as I can figure out everything.
Question: does the
You need
clone
anything
get
else?
clothes?
Well, he'll hand it clothes.
Are there So I'm looking directly at it. Are there any noticeable difference up close?
Sorry. I just thought halfling looking directly at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No noticeable difference, honestly. It's very impressive.
It's a piece of my work, so I'm
yeah.
obviously looking at it very carefully.
Okay, roll an investigation.
Sure. 13.
No discernible difference. They look exactly alike, and Magum's handing him clothes, and it's getting dressed slowly and securely, and Magum even produces a amulet, something you've never seen before. Roll me a perception check.
Perception.
I know.
11.
You see it for the briefest of moments before drops it into the shirt, and the chain itself even sits low enough that it's under the collar. Like, you don't really notice it or see it. And
notice he hands him something. So.
Yeah, you're more interested in, wow, you made that. Well, Jimmy, I thank you very much for that. It's really impressive, the work that you did, and I appreciate all of the notes that you've given me on this subject. I think I'll be able to produce all the rest of them myself from now on.
The rest of them, he says.
I mean, I thought I had something. Well, maybe I'll be able to finish it. And he just turns back to the desk and goes back over.
He'll open the door for you to go back over to that.
Yeah, no idea what time it is, but just goes right back to it.
One of the Magums walk back out with you.
Who knows which one?
Jimmy wasn't paying attention. Looks at Dorson and goes, real page turner, huh?
Yeah.
So, how long have you been
Screaming
reading this book
internally?
now?
According to this, about 8 hours.
This is while everybody else is long resting. He's still reading.
So
Except
I'm getting
Jimmy,
to the point of
course.
exhaustion.
Yeah.
On the bright side, Dorzen mostly uses short rest stuff, so he'll be fine.
On the bright side, I don't remember what my health was at when I leveled up my character, so it was at full when I hit that.
You were hurt. You were hurt.
Yes, but I don't remember how much.
We'll put you at like 20.
I wanted to ask, do you just do auto exhaustion if you stay up, or do you do the
Auto.
roll for it?
Auto, yeah. Con stackers.
Hey man, I worked through the night. It helps.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get tired. Because if you're con, you can just stay awake all night. But you're still getting exhausted. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
Dorson, are you?
You're
okay?
asleep. Jimmy's the only one up.
Oh, I thought.
No, this is
alright,
during everybody's long rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I'm just gonna add that point of exhaustion now.
Yeah. Well, for the sake of everything else, everyone else wakes up. Apparently, Dorzen. You don't remember going to sleep.
How far into this book I am after 10 hours of reading it?
3/4.
3/4, so I'm almost done.
Everyone else begins waking up, and food's already been prepared for you. And Chauncey also did not sleep.
Before Prissa walks out of her room or wherever she slept at, she's going
It's
to.
one big room.
Yeah.
No one has any privacy here.
Something she wants to try to do just to test it out, since I changed out the prepared spells because long rest. I'd like to try Prissa's Fantastic Phantasm on my new horned bunny to make it look like Prissa.
A tiny Prissa.
It's a tiny Prissa.
No. It actually can go a size larger.
Oh.
So it went from tiny to small.
Which is Prissa.
Prissa size.
Yeah.
So there's now a horned Prissa.
Wow, just make all of that work they did last night seem very trivial by comparison.
Yeah.
No, because I'm showing off the spell that I mentioned to Mitch.
And the Sir Uric Prissa.
Does it still get a horn?
Yeah. So The morning rolls around. Dorzen, you're still reading. It's a really good page turn, and like you're so focused. Like this is an amazing book. Like this person's adventures and stories, like they're incredible. You can't imagine somebody who's actually lived a life like this.
Yeah.
Dorzen,
Then I
have you
get to the
been?
last page.
Not quite yet. Everybody wakes up first.
Uh,
Dorzen, have you
I'll-
been all night reading that?
Yep.
Still reading. Oh.
Would I get you some tea? I know I've done the same thing a couple times in the past.
Must really be a page turner, that one.
Boo. Yes, tea would be lovely.
Magum
Okay.
walks out, walks around the room again and goes, well, if you would like, we also have coffee here. I brought it in from faraway lands.
Does anybody hate spiders, by the way?
I mean, I don't think many people like spiders, but
I don't mind spiders as long as they don't bite me.
Characters go, simply because you all see like this giant daddy long legs just sitting like at the end of Jimmy's desks, and it just like moves around back and forth, and he seems to like not be paying any attention to it.
Does it look mechanical?
It does upon closer inspection. From a ways off, it looks like just a very thin.
It's an Australian daddy long leg.
Oh, jeez.
So it's a grade A fuck that. Magum helps you prepare some tea or coffee if anybody prefers that. Coffee is a delicacy here inside of Tal'Dorei.
I'll have some coffee.
Oh, second that. As soon as I can smell it.
Coffee's actually from where you're from, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's very
We need
common in
something
the
to
Holy
keep us
Church.
going.
So it gets set up for all of you, and anybody who wishes to have it can have it. Jimmy, it's so good. It's earthy. It's a very like subtle sweet flavor, like a little bit of cocoa at the bottom of it. It's roll me a history, Jimmy.
Would Prissa have had coffee in the past, or?
I'd say
with the
one of your
Lyceum grows
professors
their own beans.
would have stopped you from drinking too much coffee.
That's good to know.
As long as it's brown, Jero, we
It
drink
tastes good. It is
That's
good. Yeah. Lots of sugar as well, if you want.
There wouldn't be coffee in the Feywild, would there have been?
Oh, why not? It's the Fae. Actually, no, it's not sweet. They don't like it. That's a torture device.
This keeps everyone up and they have to watch the theater.
Ooh. But anyways, as you all eat breakfast and Magum sits across from you, Prissa, while everyone else is eating on the floor because there's only 2 spots at this small table, he pulls out one of his books. This one is different from the previous one you read from and just places it onto the counter. So, what is it you'll be teaching me?
Dr. Yurik, come over here, please.
You all watch as the horned Prissa walks next to Prissa, or hops next to Prissa.
And it does look like Prissa with the
Yeah,
horn.
but it's just bouncing.
Well, yeah, I cast it on Dr. Yurik earlier. Although in the hands of someone skilled, they can, and I'll change it so instead of Prissa, it looks like Jimmy now.
Fascinating.
And
I
it's-
assume
it's-
this is something more attuned to your level of expertise, correct?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
malleable ability to manipulate illusions?
yes, although with this spell, even if you're not a specialist in it, it does have this property, and Prissa's gonna like throw something towards the illusion, not towards the actual physical thing of her rabbit. And it
See, Prissa, you did it. You're smarter than both of us. And Jimmy just blacks out at the table.
Jimmy, do you need more coffee? Oh, okay. Well.
And if it spells not enough too, we did acquire some recent money. that I can pay for in material goods.
Money is not something I'm really short up on at the moment. Material goods, however, I am.
Oh, well, I guess one might interest you too is usually it's not a wizard spell, but when we were attacked by some unsavory individuals, they had this in their spell book that I got down, and I show them that I have fairy fire.
That is unique. Yes, I would like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Allow me to ask you something, Prissa.
Yeah.
Are you... What type of spell are you looking for? Tell me a utility or a asset of a spell that you want, and I'll decide which one is more reasonable to teach you.
Well, something I've noticed is sometimes I cast a spell and the enemy can I'm sorry, out of character. I'm not sure how to describe when an opponent makes a spell DC or
They
something.
resist it.
How they resist the spell. Maybe I can learn something that, whereas I can hit them with my own ability rather than them just resisting it and it not working.
What's the highest level spell you can cast, Prissa?
I know 5th level spells.
I know of something. It's a preparatory spell, of course. However, it's proven to be quite useful for me in the past. I believe I used it on your one companion when we first met, I miss him. But anyways, when you use this spell, there's a specific attribute about it, that it lingers on you. And when you take note of an individual within range, someone who has, relinquished a little bit of the flow within their body, you're able to manipulate that and contort them upon looking at them. I believe I can teach you this. However, you are going to have to pay me for the paper and ink, of course.
Of course.
Right? So this is a 5th level chemomancy spell.
Ooh.
And as he starts going over the book with you, its name is Languish.
Is there a way you can put it in the...
Copy this down because I can't share it yet because it's on my private notes for the book I'm writing. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And for anybody who's watching, one of the books I'm writing, I have my own wizard subclass called the Hemomancer, as well as 12 spells that are Hemomancy. I might just name them Necrotic to make it easier, but it is specific spells that they all learn. Prissa is learning her 2nd or 3rd?
Second,
Second.
I believe.
And
Though
this
I did
is
want to
what
learn the cantrip too.
it's going to take longer to do that one, but well, let's get through this one first.
Okay.
You spend 1 hour siphoning little bits of blood out of your arm and vialing them in crystal vials valued at 50 GP each. You need 3 crystal vials, so it's 150 gold to do this. After you spend that hour to do so, you leave those vials somewhere on your person on the same plane of existence as yourself, so on your person. And upon seeing a creature begin to make an attack or begin to make a saving throw, you may use your reaction to destroy one of the vials and cause them to have disadvantage on all attack rolls, saving throws, and ability checks until the end of your next turn. It is a 5th level spell. You have 3 charges, and it stays on you for 8 hours.
That's nice. quick, can you just copy and paste that to the Discord of mine so I can
Sure.
write that all down into the...
Sure. I'll get it to you.
That's-
You're not going to need it quite yet.
That's strong for 5th.
150 gold to start it. And you need to go out of your way to buy these customized glass vials. Also, if you end up not needing it, you wasted a 5th level spell slot and 150 gold, because after 8 hours, it's gone. And you also have to remember, it's only 1 round.
Yeah. In the moment where Jimmy was still conscious, would he have any response to the question Ilaran asked him?
Which was? I missed it.
If he could transfer an enchantment from one item to another.
Oh yeah, he would have been like, "Psh, piece of cake."
I can do that in my sleep. In fact,
and then he fell
And then I go sleep now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
Go ahead.
yeah. And if it is something he could do to take the enchantment from Ilaran's leather armor over to his holy symbol.
Do you wake him up?
Yeah. Nah, I'm gonna let him sleep. No,
Okay.
So,
it's not that important.
Is
After-
that something you can do with anything? Or
artificers can bend a lot of rules like that.
yeah, artificers are bullshit. But yes. They're great utility wrenches.
Literally.
Yeah.
But
I can have a vicious full plate then.
body slam.
Sorry, a what?
Vicious full plate. This is a buff enchantment, so
Yeah. But anyways, doors in. After everybody woke up, gathered themselves, and Priscus started going through learning the spell with Magum. Do you wish to buy any of the vials from him, Prissa?
How many does he have?
He can spare 6.
6? You know what? I'm gonna take all 6, so it's 50 gold each vial, right?
300 gold. 300 gold to buy all 6.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely pay that.
Okay.
I do take it out of.
And then for a
Party
5th level spell slot, that is 50 GP per level.
So 250, so 550 total.
Yep. Now, did you already choose your level up cantrip?
Yeah, but I did mention that I chose it, and I was gonna keep it if I couldn't take it, but I was gonna switch it out with this hemomancy one if
Okay.
I could.
If allowed.
If allowed, yes. Well, I'll allow it. And I'll send that one over to you as well when it's relevant. Okay? It's not a whole lot of damage, and you're not running into a situation where you need to use it right now, you know?
Yeah.
So, about 12 hours finally go by, and Dorzin, you finish that last page. Shutting the book and placing it down.
So how was it?
And just begin reflecting. Roll me an insight check, Dorzin.
Okay. Nope. Well, I just wasted 12 hours.
Nope. You get to re-roll that because you're within 30 feet of Jimmy.
Should be just
Oh, shit.
conscious for 2 seconds. Oh, you got it, bud.
Something
Anything
happens
is better
in
than
the
that.
universe. His leg twitches and he kicks the table and doors in. Something falls.
Much better. It's 20 better. Thank you.
So 28?
No, it's 20 plus a natural. It's better than a natural
I
one.
gotcha. I thought you got 28. I was like, holy shit.
Jiro, what does
I
Jiro
get all
dream
the brain.
in sleep that strikes Dorzin's insight check?
Oh, what do you dream? All right. So as you're sitting there, and dreaming around all of these beautiful mechanical objects, an entire building built out of gears and magic with these tiny spiders crawling around helping you, gathering up everything you need. You just look to your side as you're working on your own replica of Dorzen, perfectly proportioned to it, and you see the head starts twitching a little bit. So you go over with your hammer, tink, 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 and the Dorzen just starts dancing. Dorzen, you focus, you focus, you focus. Jimmy's a cartoon character. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
But Dorzen, on a 21. First off, this book just charmed you.
Yep.
Second off, the wandering individual written inside of it is Ayun.
Oh.
This is a breadcrumb. The stories inside of it are supposed to lead somebody of a curious nature to something. You understand, actually you don't understand religion very much at all, other than in passing what you all discussed in that other room.
Mm-hmm.
But you do know that she's been hidden away for a while. She hid herself as one of the prime deities, and is also one of the closest allies to the Raven Queen. They used to be best friends. You realize the enchantment came over you to pursue you and try to force you to read it as clearly as you could. All right.
All right.
Oh, you finally finished, Dorson? May I have go at it?
Sure. Just slide the book to Prissa.
Thank you. Since I can't read Sylvan, I'm gonna have to ritual cast comprehend language first.
Okay. You do
Well,
that.
that's gonna be weird when if that takes effect.
Give me a wisdom saving throw, Prissa.
My question, is it technically a magical effect?
Yes.
Yes.
Didn't help doors in any, but you're probably better.
17. You can't stop reading this book. It's so good. It's so entertaining.
Unfortunately, you can no longer understand this book after the first hour.
Would Prissa have been close by Alarin since he knew what could happen?
How close are you to the table where she's studying with Magum?
Depends on Dorzen, how close Dorzen was.
How big is that effect?
How big's the radius? 15 feet from Alarn.
15 feet? This room's 30 feet. If she's in one half of the room, he's hitting her.
True.
Only 10 feet, but
oh, it's
still,
10 feet. But yeah.
Probably close enough.
We'll say sure. So +4?
Yeah.
21.
Prissa, the book's honestly kind of like boring. It's just like, it's a simple diary of somebody who like apparently has been from a lot of places, and they believe themselves to have been an amazing adventurer, and it almost seems like one of those fanfics of Scanlan Shortholtz recounts in the past, but like one of the shitty ones where they don't really understand the character or anything else. Like it's so bad. It's so bad.
Prissa is like relaying all like that, just the comparison between this fanfic and the Scanlan Shortholt one, because she's definitely read Scanlan Shortholt one.
I bet Prissa has read the Trialing Tribulations of Tyrion Darrington.
Oh, absolutely. And these are so bad. It's honestly, it's pretty boring.
It's I'm almost tempted to just skip to the end, but it's I don't know. Maybe it gets better in between.
Maybe. It seems Dorson was quite captivated by it, at least.
I need to show him some good books. I know so many that I'm gonna show him, and he'll love them.
Well, considering he stayed up for 12 hours straight reading, there might have been some magic involved.
Well, I don't know about that, but I think that once he gets his hands on Daring Trials and Tribulations of Darrington, he will be just up for more than a couple days rereading it because it's so good.
Question for the DM: was that insight to determine if I understood where that book was trying to lead me?
That insight was trying to discern what the book was trying to tell you.
Okay.
Now, you did get that this book was trying to tell you where to go, although you didn't quite pick up on that aspect terribly much. So, in order, they went to Faerun, they went to the Sea of Dragons, they communicated with many of the folk that communicated with the dragons before the Sea of Dragons was relinquished from them, gathered a few followers, went over towards the Sea of Stars, gathered mystical teachings and people who sought power beyond the natural understanding of magic, past that of the studies that wizards currently have, and everybody has, which is 9th level magic. People who pursued 10th, 11th, 12th level magic even, in order to track the stars, go elsewhere. And then from that location, apparently something had happened, and they transpired to go adventuring into the worlds and realms unknown. They passed by the elemental plane of fire. They passed by the elemental plane of water. They went to the Feywild. They went to the Shadowfell. They even went to the Howling Abyss. And then after all of that, they went to Tal'Dorei to 4 very specific locations. One location is inside of the Dividing Plains in the middle of nowhere. Another location was in Iman. A third one was close to the Osmit Sea off the shoreline. And the last one was around the Riffin Mist Jungle, north of that area.
Griffin Mist Jungle?
Riffin Mist Jungle, which is the very, very southern point of Tal'Dorei. The only thing more southern than that is a mountain range called Hadar-ai and Esdam Har. It's all very, very unruly out there, uncivilized. The book was trying to get you to go somewhere. You don't know where.
From how I understand, that would be the order of events, the places of events to potentially put that together.
Possibly.
How I understand it.
Possibly. Whatever you want to do with the information you gathered, you can do. But while you're having your meltdown about the shitty quality of the book and the shitty taste that Dorzen has in books, I think that's where we're going to go ahead and take a break, everybody. Hey, everybody, we are back. Sorry about the hold up on that one. I was just getting my little munchie on. I don't want to crunchy in your ears while I'm doing that, although I am still eating a few of these things. Pretzel crisps are so good. Do any of you like pretzel crisps?
I'm confused what you mean by pretzel crisp.
You see this? Looks like a pretzel?
Uh-huh.
It's a chip.
And it's crispy.
I've never seen those before.
Never seen them either.
Well, I mean, that's reasonable. You're far away from the U.S.
Yeah.
This
We
is like
do have,
Munchie 101 nowadays, man. It's so good.
We
I
have
recommend
something in Norway that's like just a long stick that's pretzel tasty and salted.
Yeah, we have
Pretzel sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good. This is
I
a
like
pretzel
the
chip.
size of drumsticks.
Have some right here, actually. They look like this.
It's salty and savory. Yeah. It's a pretzel stick.
Yeah.
It's literally a pretzel made into a stick. But anyways, we're here to play D&D, y'all.
Yeah, this
So-
isn't a food stream.
You're all... Most of you are awake right now.
Food and book stream.
Magum is currently packing up all of his things. Or, sorry. His companion is packing up all of his things. While he continues teaching Prissa the limitations of the spells and describing them in more detail, exactly how they work, and offering opportunities to, be sure to practice before you start using it too much. And keep in mind, all of these are very dangerous practices, and if the Lyceum sees you casting them, they will not like that very much.
Well, okay. A quick thing, Jero, is there any other spells he has? Maybe not Heomancy, but that I might be interested in learning?
You don't know. He's not offering anything else.
Oh, okay, just alright.
Yeah. He has lots of spells. And, I mean, do you want to inquire about it?
I'd probably like ask a little bit like, what about some other spells? I recently thought of another one that you might like, but
Well, with your current limitations, I don't believe I have many more that would be up your alley. Not for what you're looking for, at least.
I mean, in this case, it doesn't have to be a something that you specialize in, just something maybe utilitarian or.
Again, not many more that you would be interested in.
Okay.
Plus, what would your professors think if someone just handed you their spell book and told you, here, have at it, learn everything you want, do whatever you want with it? Then you're not earning it.
That's true.
Have to go earn those spells, young lady.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm going to be heading back now that I know everything is safe and everything is fine. We're going to take a while to pack up here, but if all of you would like to go ahead and leave, please do. The moment I leave this shack, I'm going to be it's going to be locked, and nobody will be able to gain access to it again.
Good question. Did Dorson notice the clone being created?
No, that was behind that locked door.
Ah, okay.
Did Jimmy help out with what you needed?
Tremendously, yes.
That's good. Well, if there's anything arcane you still need me to work on, I'll be available once this thing is taken care of.
I'll be sure to let you know. Thank you. So, Yorick, it was a pleasure formally meeting you, of course. Gives you a slight bow.
Likewise, and I thank you very much for the hospitality.
Of course. It is in my nature to do so. Lauren, pleasure meeting you as well.
You as well, Mitch.
Best of luck in your future travels and adventures. Dorzin, it was nice seeing you again.
Yep.
And, well, he's all tuckered out. So, goodbye, everyone. Take care.
All right.
So, you all leave?
I make sure I have the book on me.
Sure.
Fisher is reading the book still. They're trying to.
It's just so boring.
So, what exactly is the deal with this book?
I will tell you when we're back in Imon.
I can tell you the deal with this book. It is poorly written. There is no proper pacing to this, and whoever wrote this seems to think a lot of themselves.
All right. Well,
Immediately, you think Scanlan probably wrote the book.
so I assume, Dorson, that you are of a wildly different opinion since you.
Yes, I am, and when we are back in Imon and in a very safe place, I will explain to you the true power of literature.
So who's
I
carrying
don't know if
Jimmy?
Magnum's still seeing this, but I'm doing a bit.
Oh, you guys said you all leave, so you left.
Yeah, we'll just slump Jimmy over Dorson's back.
All right, strap him in.
He cannot
I'm gonna.
fall off the saddle.
Yup.
Quick thing too is Dr. Yurik is currently sitting on Jimmy's back, so it looks like Trissa's sitting on his back with the horn.
Wow, what a painting this is.
But really, it's just the rabbit.
Yeah, it's just a rabbit.
So, as you all continue traveling outwards, making it outside of this large, barren scape of land and into the plains.
Krista had a teleportation circle.
I don't know. Do you want to use it?
I don't mind.
Do you have the currency to do it?
Oh, right, I need chalk. Oh no, I think I did buy some though. I
Oh, no, did you?
Don't.
Yeah, when we were at Falcon Castle, I stopped by Gilmore's and I bought chalk and magic stuff.
Cool.
Yep.
Be sure you're keeping track of that because it's very expensive to go teleporting around the realm. You guys aren't at the point where you have infinite money yet.
Why? How far away from Iman are we?
Travel-wise, 3 weeks at worst. Traveling with Alarin, 2 weeks typically. Traveling on the road with him is very easy.
Why don't we stop by Falcon Castle to get everything we left there, and then I can teleport us to Iman through the circle?
I forgot we left things at the castle.
Yeah,
You
we
all
left,
say things, Xeric's like, my people. Yes, I did leave my NPCs there.
Quick thing, Jared, too, is it has been 2 weeks. What was it that we were sent off by Vox Machina to do? I know we went to the Shadow.
We were supposed to find something about the guy to deal with him, and we found a couple things to help with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the
One-
vestige and the ritual. Okay.
Yes. Ritual. Kill the
Ritual,
motherfucker.
which might be painted on Dorzen's back if all the plot points are going where I think they are.
Hey. But anyways, you guys take the 2 to 3 days to get over to Falcon Castle.
Yep. Would Jimmy be so kind as to do the thing on those
Well,
days?
he would need like days to do it, where he can actually
okay.
do it. When you get your cart, he can do that, but he needs to
okay.
have the cart to travel and do it. Perks of
Gotcha.
being a small person is you can actually work in a moving cart.
Yep.
So
Quick
you make it
question,
back.
Can a cart go through a teleportation circle?
Probably not. No.
Part of a cart go through a teleportation
I mean,
circle.
it could get through a gate if you cast a
It's
gate
okay.
spell.
It's already bought, and I'm sure, especially with Yorick, we can find a way to trade it off to the Falcons for something.
Or even pay
Well-
somebody to transport it back for you.
Yeah.
All your carried items are transported, right? So if we carry the cart, we can.
I mean, technically,
Can you, by yourself, carry the cart reasonably?
Dorzen could pull the cart.
You couldn't
How big-
carry it.
How big is the cart?
It's a fucking cart. Like, it is
I don't know, what's
large
18 times
caravan
15?
type cart with a canopy over top of it, large enough to set up a workstation for a tinkerer artificer.
So if
Well,
we
I
get
do have
a large, if we get an enlarge and reduce spell scroll casted on the cart to make it smaller, can we then get it through the teleportation circle?
You're trying really hard. You can definitely pay somebody to transport that for you if you would like.
How about we dismantle it first?
I mean, Dorzen counts as a large creature when pulling and carrying.
You
things.
realize dismantling this cart piece by piece will take almost as long as just taking the cart back to Iman, right?
By the way, Jimmy's cart
Out with the
going
pyro.
to sell to somebody at Falcon Castle.
All right, there we go.
That's what's happening.
So you all get there. Yurik, you're greeted by your family and long-term attendants who are all very impressed that you are still alive and, you know, that
Your
all of
horse
you...
is alive.
I mean, they assume if he's alive, the horse is alive. It's reasonable. And
I give them all a warm hug and yeah.
they give you polite
some time
bows
chatting
and
with
hugs afterwards, and everybody's super excited. Your favorite nieces come running out to you, and oh my god, what happened?
Well, well, I probably shouldn't start with that.
Cousins, not nieces. Sorry, I keep fucking that up.
They're little cousins, though.
Yeah. We went on a very breathtaking adventure, I will say.
You're gonna tell us all about it at dinner, right?
We'll see.
Your uncle looks at you. Are you gonna be staying for dinner?
Yes, of course.
Oh, wondrous. It should be ready in about 6 hours or so.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Fantastic. All of your companions, come on. My casa, you understand how it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do
Easy.
have. I hope the smithy is still warm.
How quick? Because Joe, we don't know how long we were away, right?
Minutes.
From how I understood, it was a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only a minute? Okay.
Well, it was until you would actually remain dead from no longer being able to be partially dead. So, about minutes to an hour-ish.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
I
You weren't gone
assume
for very
there's-
long while you were in that stasis.
But like traveling and all that, we've been gone about a week.
Yeah, a little bit over a week.
I assume we have a smithy in the castle.
Not in the castle, but right inside the town. It's no problem. You can go
right.
use it, no problem. They understand. Family discount, of course, as usual.
Yeah, I'll just need to get my plate mail.
Oh,
repaired.
that looks... They look at your armor that it's fucking
Melted.
pretty destroyed.
Yeah,
What happened?
Ran into a bit of a fire giant.
You fought a fire giant.
No big
Yep.
deal.
Yes, and it was
The tiny
not a
hammer.
normal one either. It
Does it? Have I not attuned to it at this point?
Not yet, no.
All right, It's been 2 days. There's 3
Yeah.
days of traveling here.
Have you proven yourself to the hammer yet?
That is a good question. Damn, have I?
No.
have we fought anything?
While I'm at the smithy, I'm going to ask the smith. All right.
Human man and... Oh, hey, how you doing, man?
So I have a question that I
Yes.
think you are very fit to answer. Just give me the first answer at the top of your head. No, don't think about it. Just first thing you think of. When I ask you, what is a weapon?
A weapon? Oh, it's a, It's a creation. It's an
Yeah,
means to arm yourself better.
fair enough.
I guess, I'm sorry, is this,
It's not trick. It's just me and my friends were at a bit of a philosophical.
retreat? I partook in one of those. They called it Burning Man. It was fantastic. I don't really remember what happened.
No, I was a Burning Man just a few days ago, and it didn't feel good. So.
Oh, yeah, that he looks at your... Oh. That
Right.
did not happen at Burning Man.
No.
Well then, do you need me to repair this for you?
Yes, very.
Should be able to,
much.
How many points of damage did you take while in the lava again?
I don't remember exactly how many points of damage I took.
We should have kept track. Alright,
We-
roll me a,
But I lost two
Roll the
points
file
of,
footage.
of AC from the armor.
You lost how much AC from it?
2.
Okay. And you wear full plate, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's like... He looks it over and looks at all of the components and aspects about it. He goes, Sir Yurik, I apologize to tell you this, but whoever created this armor is an asshole.
How so?
They use shitty material. I mean, this is like basic iron and like bits of steel in places where it would be more protective. You see the chin guard right here, but like whoever created this armor, they did it for ostentatious reasons, and they cut a lot of corners and made it very cheap metal. I can fix it for you, no problem. It would only run me like 100 gold, but I would suggest you get yourself something a little better. Better quality,
Right.
you know? I mean, if you're going off and lighting yourself on fire, you need to wear something a bit, more resilient to stuff like that, right?
Yes, of course. Well, what sort of? I thought this was a very much a standard full plate, if you will.
Maybe standard for the military, sir, but that's not something that is needed for people who expect combat very often.
Right.
Military
Well,
doesn't fight
I'll,
anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, you don't have the means of upgrading it in any way.
Oh, I would not upgrade this. It'd be a waste of metal, a scrap at best. However, do you mind closing the front door and locking it for me? I can show you something in the back.
Sure.
All right. So you go over. Are your attendants with you?
Not at this point, no.
Okay.
They've probably been relieved once we got back to the castle and stuff.
All right, we'll say that the cook is with you. He's always with you. He's like hanging out with your horse
fair
outside,
enough.
tending to it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, he's a friend.
Yeah, yeah, he's like an actual friend. So you close the door and he goes, everything good, sir?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
It's just, he's just gonna show me something he's working on. Doesn't want too many people to see it right away.
Fair.
I'll probably tell you about it later, maybe. We'll see.
Fair enough. You close it, lock it up, and go back over to him where he shows you the back door, and he has to pull out a ring of keys, and he's testing keys for the door. He's not sure which one goes to it, and then eventually settles on the proper one and click, it unlocks, and he pushes it open, and when you step inside, he has to push back a large draping blanket. It's literally just a blanket nailed to the wall that he pushes out of the way. Stepping inside, you look around, and there's all manners of different beast heads or body parts. You see the triple-lied heads of a chimera on the one wall. You see the large talons of a rock mounted to a different section. Bless you. You look like you were sneezing.
I was about to, but it stopped.
Ha, 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 ha. Hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
There's all other manners of different beasts that are fairly notable and that have been corrupted and destroyed. There appears to be the arm, a skeletal, almost mummified looking arm that's hooked and grasping at some type of gem with long stretching fingernails that look like the fingernails just had kept growing for years and years and years without ever stopping. And back past all of that, you see there's a suit of armor. It's silver with little bits of green edges and tracings against it. Full body plate mail. It looks very light. It looks not so much ostentatious, but regal, even in its creation and nature. And as he walks over to it, you see there's a little plaque that he kind of just like wipes off a little bit. Kneels down and just says a quiet prayer. Roll me a religion.
Can I give myself guidance?
Sure. 21 plus 4 plus d4.
Yep.
23. Well, the DC was much lower than 21. This armor, from the color scheme and the way it's designed, is definitely that of a warrior. Somebody who prides themselves on their establishment, their way of life, and based off of the slayed beast in this room, somebody who probably had a notable amount of experience attached to them as well. At the plaque, when you kneel down and you read through, you get the name Jameson. Jameson, both one word. And right below it, you see a small mantra that belongs to that of the Platinum Dragon. And he's giving a prayer to the Platinum Dragon as he looks at this armor. He stands up and looks over at you. This belonged to my father. Made of some of the best materials we could find in Tal'Dorei. Used to travel with him when I was a kid.
I see. And he was a priest or paladin, maybe?
No. He never got to the position of being able to talk with the Platinum Dragon or any of the other gods, but we always had a strong appreciation for what they wanted to do and what they sought.
I see.
The material is called adamantine.
Adamantine.
It's shockingly resilient. resistant to most edges. You see in the aspects of the armor where you might see the typical weak points, he pulls at your chest plate where you see like somebody could stab up under there. And he shows you the smooth grooving about it where it's still flexible enough to move. They don't have that possibility of more appropriately piercing into you and getting a really good drop on it as well.
Right.
It's incredibly good safeguarding, lighter than most material.
Seems like very much of a mastercraft item.
My father, he knew a lot of good people, helped a lot of good people, and there's a small dwarven community in Craghammer that had a master craftsman that took care of it for him, and who taught me after he passed. Stayed there for a while and then came back home to the shop.
I see. Well, yeah, this would have been very much of an upgrade, I assume. I suppose. But this is this not a sentimental piece for you?
Oh, it is incredibly. Yeah, I lost him when I was 10. So it's very good, but it's just sitting here collecting dust. I mean, apparently there's people out there in the world doing what he did. I'm not exactly a quality of man that would go out in the world and do that myself, you know?
I see. I feel a bit overwhelmed. Are you saying you're willing to just hand this over?
Well, not just hand it over. I mean,
perfectly capable of paying.
Compensation would be appreciated. Yes, I mean, I still need to make a living. I do get taxed by your uncle very often. I'm not complaining. It's a fair tax. It's needed. Keep the area safe. I understand.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to part with it for somebody who, well, he points at your holy symbol, who's gonna need it, and to do the good things.
Well, thank you. I would very much accept this offer.
All right, it's a bit on the expensive side. It's the material. I'm just charging you material costs, not craft. So we'll call it at 1,700.
Right. Well, I don't have that on me right now, but I am should be able to get back to you quite quickly with.
Of course. Of course, no problem. Do you want me to begin resizing it to your dimensions for you?
Sure. Why not?
And I'll take your other armor and scrap it for you if you want. I'm not to down talk the person who made it, but it's scrap at this point.
Well, it's still functional. I mean, with some repair, it can still be used to save someone's life.
Possibly. I mean,
so
it might work like that. What I'm saying is I'll buy it off you if you want.
Right, fair enough.
200 gold?
Sure.
So we'll call it a straight 1,500 for the adamantine full plate.
All right, fair enough. I suppose I have to get this off then. You probably need some measurements as well.
Yep. And he goes ahead and takes all your measurements from you.
Yep.
So he goes ahead, does that, and lets you go and do whatever you have to do to get the funds.
Right. I feel a bit naked without my armor, but
yeah. But anyways, while he's doing that in town, is anybody else doing anything?
Yep.
Yeah, Prissa went to the Gilmore brand store here. Just
Ilaran is following.
Alrighty. The two of you step inside. Hello, how are you all today?
Hi there. I don't know if you remember, we were here a couple days ago.
About a week ago or so, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How are you?
We're good. We're good. Recently came onto some funds, and we wanted to see what maybe we could get here.
Yes, I myself had a few specific things in mind.
Well,
Yeah.
what do you have?
Um, well, I was looking for something to safeguard against poison, a bit of a magical armor, and some potions of speed, if you would have them.
Oh, we wouldn't have anything like that at this location. Sorry.
Ah,
But
well,
if you're talking about some anti-poison, I have that. Quite a
no,
few poisonous stakes in this area.
yes, but I was looking for more of the magical kind.
I mean, it'll magically keep you from dying from poison.
That is fair enough, but yes, but I will have a look around at least.
All right, go ahead. You begin wandering, and let's go with the selling first. What are you selling, Prissa? Hello?
I don't think I said anything about selling, although we do still have some gems we can sell.
Mm-hmm.
So we basically convert some of the gems, not the diamonds, because we could need those for spells, but the was it jade or yeah, sorry, my internet's being weird with the clicking.
I'll help you out real quick. So we have 6 gems, 2 rubies, 4 jacinth for 5,000. So it'd be 10,000 total for the gems. We also have a silver chest. I believe that's the one we got the book out of, which was around 7,500.
10,000? No,
Yeah.
the gems themselves are 40,000.
So
That's a piece? I thought that was just...
Wait, we also have Electrum cloth
Yeah.
set, which we don't. I
let
don't
me read
think
it.
we
Let me
need
read
that
it.
for
Let me
anything.
read it. So, the gems that you have listed are 500 GP each. Yeah, all of those are each for the diamond, the jacinth, and the ruby.
Yep.
Each of those are each.
5,000.
So
Yeah, you
why
found
don't
two
we-
incredibly big gems.
So
Yeah.
for 2 of those big gems, we'll have those out and stuff for trade and stuff, and then whatever the difference is from whatever we buy here, we'll pay or she'll pay us. Or
All right, let's make this easier. The price I gave you is what people will buy it for.
Yeah.
So add that much gold to you.
Are we
If you're
selling?
just selling it all, just sell it,
Oh.
add that gold. Boom, you got it. Cool.
I say we keep the diamonds at least, but the rest.
definitely the diamonds.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Jimmy's gonna make an argument for one of the rubies too, especially after
Actually-
what he saw with Magum happen.
Yeah, we can keep one of the rubies as well, or we can keep both. We have plenty.
Just
so-
one.
I mean, I don't know what jacinth is, so that's why I'm not too worried about giving that one up.
That's
So we're selling the chest.
that's 20,000 gold.
Yep, chest has been emptied out.
Yeah, so add 20. I'm gonna add 20,000 gold to our thing, and we'll get rid of the chest and the jacinth.
Yeah.
It's more than 20,000 if you're doing the chest. It's 27.
Yeah, it's.
Are you
with
selling the chest? Okay. Whatever you have the listed price as is what it sells for. Very simple, very straightforward. So go ahead, delete whatever it is, add that much funds to yourselves. Whatever you are keeping, make sure you segregate that from that. So you're keeping the 2 diamonds at 5,000 GP each. And the 1 ruby, correct?
Just keep 1 ruby, yeah. We don't need to keep both of them, so sell the other one.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
will do. And we're selling the chest
And the cloth.
and the cloth.
Fantastic. And the jacinth, right? And the other ruby?
Yeah, all of the jacinth and one of the rubies.
Okay, go for it.
So plus another 5,000. So that's 40,000 total in earnings.
Yep, not
Okay,
bad.
so are you doing that, or you want me to do that?
I'm doing it now.
Okay.
All right, so you sell all that, you have that much money at your disposal. You sent me those items that you specifically want.
Yep.
Roll me a D100, all right?
Okay.
It doesn't matter who's rolling it, just roll it.
Okay. No, I was gonna ask. I should have probably sent you stuff too, but Prissa's looking for some magical staffs, or maybe some something to help with protection, maybe.
All right.
Well, considering we're 5 people in the party at the moment, that's 16,400 each.
So yeah, Yurik, I think you can afford that armor.
Wait, everyone gets 16,000?
400.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled a
How does
98.
that work out? We had a 40,000.
We had 42,000, and from what we sold, we got another 40,000, so that's 82,000.
No one can carry this much.
Oh, Prissa had the gold. I see what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
So you guys have a metric fuck ton of gold. Yep.
Yep, pretty much.
You're almost at the point where money does not matter.
We gave Corbin his
We need to
share,
go
right?
to Amon, is
Like,
what needs to
I
happen.
know he's not here, but we would, theoretically.
I know he would definitely get his share. We're not gonna be dicks about that.
Okay, we're gonna give to Corbin as well. Okay,
Okay,
then
see?
there we go, and divided by 6. So that is 13,666.
Wow, you all just lost 3K to an NPC.
Hey, man.
Hey,
I don't mind.
Hey, we're being fair. He's still part of the party. We wish him
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah,
When he
that's-
comes
that's-
back, he's gonna have invested that in some stocks, and when he comes back, it's gonna be exponential growth.
Hey
and
guys,
whatever.
I own Grayskull Keep now. Scanlan sold it for me.
Yeah.
You see Scanlan flying away with 3 ships. Just
So
You say that, but I wouldn't put
13,360.
past him.
Figureheads on all of them, his face and stuff.
yeah, just post what the number is in the chat, and then that'll be easiest.
Yeah.
So
I rolled a 98, yeah.
Alarin. They have 2 of the objects you were looking for. There is a set of studded leather armor, +2. Very nice. It has a bit of a green-blue leather to it. It's a very odd combination. It seems to have been properly stained, and the studs themselves are like rounded studs. They're not like small protrusions or even like the spiked ones. They're just the rounded off ones. So it looks more like smooth and more ceremonious in nature. But the way it's built and the craftsmanship put into it and the amount of magic infused into it, you feel the flexibility and the ease of use, and oh, it's so good.
Oh,
So-
yes.
They also have a handy haversack, if you wish to buy that.
Yeah, let's see. Yes, I will buy that as well, I think. Yeah, I will also buy that.
Alrighty. And looking for what you were looking for, Prissa? You said you wanted a rod?
Some staffs. I mean, rod might be nice too.
A rod
but
for
mainly,
Prissa is practically a staff, I feel.
You're not wrong.
I mean, what level are you?
10.
No, you're not getting the Staff of Power.
Oh, but it's powerful.
No. So, as far as that powerful of stuff goes, roll a D100, Prissa.
Oh wow, what are the chances of that?
Holy shit.
Wow.
2 98s in a row. Awesome. So, yeah, let me go see what fucking stuff they have over here. No staves, unfortunately. However, they do have something that may stand out to you, Rissa. It is a bit outside of your spending range, but not terribly much outside of it. Actually, no, it's not outside your spending range. It's a wand. It's called the Wand of Binding.
I don't know what that does.
So, looking at the Wand of Binding. Attuned to a spellcaster, the wand has 7 charges for the following properties. It regains 1d6 plus 1 expended charges daily at noon. If you expend the last charge, roll a d20 on a 1, the wand crumbles to dust and is destroyed. Spells. While you're holding the wand, you can use an action to expand some of its charges to cast one of the following spells. DC 17 for all of them. Hold monster at 5 charges and hold person at 2 charges. Assisted escape. While holding the wand, you can use your reaction to expend 1 charge and gain advantage on a saving throw you make to avoid being paralyzed or restrained. Or you can expend 1 charge and gain advantage on any check you make to escape a grapple. It is a reaction to do that.
I just have one thing I need to say to that. Yes.
Okay. That is going to be 10,000 gold.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm paying that for sure.
Okay. It's in the compendium, click and drag. There you go.
Oh my gosh.
What about the other thing I asked about? The
Considering you're in a very small shop and you rolled incredibly well, this is kind of what y'all got. Other than that, do you want basic potions of healing?
Prissa will get to.
Okay. How about a amulet of protection? A cloak of protection? Boots of elven kind?
The boots, are those attunement?
I think so.
Maybe.
Boots of Elven Kind are not attunement.
I'll take them.
Maybe. We have to see how expensive they are.
I'm like 95% sure.
All right. That's gonna run you 1,200 gold.
Is it possible to get like +1 weapons and armor?
Yes.
Not here.
It is possible if you roll incredibly high and you're specifically looking for it, like Alarin just did. However, you can also pay somebody to do that for you. Your adamantine armor does not have that plus ability to it. However,
No.
the fact that it is made of that incredibly high quality of metal, this is me telling you it's easier to enchant than normal. Whereas the other one, it's harder to enchant. They skip corners. It's not that good of a quality. It's reasonable for what it is, but anything past that, it's not that good.
And I recall they were doing loot box scrolls, spell scrolls.
Sure.
They were. You invented this.
No, that's a different game.
He didn't invent it, but he brought it in.
All right, it's a shopping session, people. Every other session in this game, shopping.
Yeah.
But the cloak of protection you said was available.
Cloak of ring of protection, amulet of protection, cloak of protection. Yeah.
Right. How much is the ring of protection?
It's not very much, actually.
But it is attunement, I think.
It is 3,500.
Yeah, 3,500.
I'll take that.
Go for it.
But other than that, some minor things Prissa would get is basically now that she's got some multiple wands, she'd get like kind of like a harness. You know, like how Secret Service agents have little thing underneath
Go to the
their
Lyceum.
jackets? Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, go to the Lyceum to get stuff like that. That's not something they'll have in
Okay.
small town, middle of nowhere Tal'Dorei.
Okay. Fine.
All right. Was anybody else buying anything at the shittier Gilmore shop, or are you waiting until you get to the better one? Or are you going to commission the Jimmy?
I sell my horse and carriage half price. I should be able to find somebody willing to buy
Half
them.
price instantly.
Yeah, super cheap. That's it.
Cool.
The only other thing that Prissa gets while she's here then is some spell pages and ink so she can write more spells in her book if she needs to, and 100 gold worth of chalk for a teleportation circle.
Okay. They have the chalk, and they have a total of 6 levels worth of spells for paper and ink. And that's almost like a palette of paper and ink. Is a lot.
I'm gonna probably just do 400 gold worth of paper ink and stuff.
Does the cloak of protection stack with the ring of protection?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
As long as you have the attunement slots.
Yeah. Remember, you only have 3 attunement slots.
Yeah, I know.
Unless you get that feat.
You could get those feats. All right, so you're loot crating, Prissa?
Just remind me, how much was the loot crate again?
500 gold each.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just doing it just once.
That's what they all say. All right.
Scroll of wish. Come on.
Roll me a D8.
Oh, no.
Or a D9, sorry. D9.
So I gotta figure out how to do that on the dice roller thing.
Actually, no. It won't be a D9. Roll me a D100 followed by another D100. What's the first one?
88 and 25.
88. All right, you got fairly high level. And 25? Oh. It is a 5th level spell called Dream.
Okay, that is illusion as well.
Yep, so it costs half as much to copy over. And how many more were you buying?
Just one. That was it.
Sure, go ahead.
No. What I meant is that was that one loot box. That's it for me.
Well, you're definitely not taking that gambler feat.
I think I get the gambler feat first, then this.
Yeah, good call. Oh. That becomes very bad for me.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so you all done?
Yeah, Prissa's good for here.
All right, you all sell your shit, gather your equipment. Yurik, you go back to the shop, you pay the man. It took him hours to resize it. It's very easily manipulated material once it's already shaped the way it needs to be. And he gives it over to you, and it fits comfortably. It's snug, but it doesn't feel like it's suffocating you. Like, you still have flexibility to it.
Right.
While you are wearing adamantine armor, you are immune to crits.
Yep.
So if they hit you, it counts as a normal hit. Even on a natural 20. Even with a barbarian's brutal critical. It's just basic damage.
Really wish I could have shown that off on that button.
The cloak of protection, is that the same price as the ring?
3,500. Yep. Do you not have any attunement items yet?
I have gauntlets of ogre strength. That's the one I had earlier.
So he's like, all right, now I get tankier and stronger. Let's go.
And I'm considering if someone in the group needs gauntlets of ogre strength.
What do they do?
They give you a 19 strength.
I mean,
Would not
giving
help
those to
me.
Prissa would be hilarious.
They're attunement based though, correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would not help Dorsey.
Might be better off selling them if you're not going to be using them.
Or waiting till we get
For
someone
risk.
to do
You can
the
always keep them
slot.
for a rainy day.
Yeah, keep them for a rainy day. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
never know.
I do have one free attunement slot, but
You're
They-
a dex
they-
player.
yeah, but basically that spot is being saved by Alarin for the Kiss of the Changebringer.
I mean, give him to Jimmy. He gets like 5 attunement slots. Like,
Yeah, he does.
Hey, Jimmy, what's your intelligence score? 19. What's your strength? 19. What's your con? 19. Just goes down the list.
Con, is there?
There is a con one, yeah.
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 There's a con, int, and strength.
There's
Zero,
one
I
for
thought
every
you were
stat.
making a joke, but those are actually my stats. So I was like, wait, what's he talking about? What's your
Alright.
dex? 19. What's your intelligence? 18. But yeah.
Yeah, close. But anyways, you're all relaxing and gathering your things. You come into the Falcone Castle, where you have another very beautiful dinner, and it expressed very easily to all of you that whenever you need shelter, whenever you want to come by, this home is sanctuary to each of you. Everyone who works here will know you, will know that you are welcome here at any point in time. No matter what time of night, no matter what happens, this is also your home, if you need it. So, are you telling the tales to your little cousins?
Oh, one thing, Jero. Could I have? I completely forgot, but could I have used my Changebringer to maybe get a slight discount?
I'm gonna go with you used your Changebringer for them to even give you access to the shit that's restricted.
Fair enough.
Considering what you got was fucking high tier.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I'll give it the discount a check at Amon instead for the last thing.
That'll be fair. Just because so much math. Let's just
Yeah.
You got the money for it. Let's keep going.
So yeah, I'm going to relay the tale of how we went to another world to fight an evil fire giant. I'm going to leave out the part that we actually died, and yeah, while we went there. Yeah.
But so Bastion was so heroic, man.
Bastion was truly heroic.
Yes. The most powerful of all of you.
Yeah.
He tanked.
Yeah.
You're done tanking when I say so, Revivify. Alright, so you tell them the story, and all of them are super impressed, and your uncle seems to be questioning the validity of the story, but he seems to accept that, you know, it's probably somewhat embellished, but he doesn't know what is.
Well, just to help him with the storytelling too, Prissa is using minor illusion to, like, you know, make the party and as well as the little fire giant on the table, and it show what it looked like, and it's embellished as Yorick describes it.
Jesus. Yeah. You know, for now on in my games, people are going to hire illusion wizards just to be their personal TVs.
I mean, you're not wrong. They can, yeah.
They can do that. Sorry, it's only an hour a day. But anyways. You all gather your stuff together. Prissa, are you going to teleport everyone in the morning?
Yeah, I'm once again, since it's a long resting, I would need to rearrange my spells, but teleportation circle would be the one I'd use. Although beforehand, I do send a sending message to the guard that's in front of the teleportation circle of the Lyceum to let him know, hey, me and my party are coming through. You know, give him that heads up kind of thing.
So you give him the reply, and he comes back with, of course, just let us know when you arrive. In casting your spell, everybody steps through the circle one at a time, now becoming familiar enough with the sensation that you're no longer compulsively throwing up and vomiting everywhere just from the sensation. When you land heavily on the ground, you look around you and you're sitting inside of the spire leading to the Lyceum, the same teleportation circle that takes you to the actual location of the Lyceum, and there are two guards standing there who give you a salute. Look down. It's early in the morning because it's the next day, and they express safe travels.
Thank you. Safe guarding.
Prissa, you make that look really easy. Like, is it hard?
Oh no, well it is at first, but then with a lot of practice, you get good at making the sigils and runes that you put along the teleportation circle.
Jimmy's like copying some of the runes again, like he's not supposed to, and
the guards immediately stop you and go.
He's trying to hide it this time.
Oh, roll sleight of hand.
Yep.
Yes, Prissa, you have gotten a lot better. It was a lot smoother ride this time.
All right, roll me an Arcana check. See how fast you get, or how much you get down before you are having to leave.
I'm piecemealing it out. I'm not trying to get the whole thing. 27.
Yeah, you tried not to get the whole thing, but it's like imprinted in your mind right now, and you use something that you've been doing, I think, for a while now, where you just hook up a little string to someone else who's walking and have them lead you as you do your writing and research. I imagine you've probably done that a couple of times just so you can keep doing what you're doing and not run into things anymore.
20th level, I'm gonna have a device that can teleport people in this teleportation circle.
Wow. And you've copied it down perfectly into your book. Make sure you add that to your treasure. Lyceum teleportation circle in Amon. Well, it might be relevant in the future. Make sure you mark it.
Artificers can't learn teleportation circle.
Even if you can't, it might be relevant for other reasons.
Yeah.
Especially with you being friends with Magum.
Let me just give him the keys to the world. Why not?
Oh wait, you'll teach me how to do more?
Hey Jared, just a quick question. What are the chances someone would hit a cute bunny with a horn on their head in Amon?
In the upper districts, very unlikely. Lower districts, people get hungry.
Okay.
Bunny's food. Bunny tastes
you're not wrong.
good. Bunny tastes real good.
Well, did everyone want to stay at an inn, or?
Well, if I remember, didn't you have something your parents asked you about?
I think. Well, quick thing on that. I think only Prissa and Corvin know this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you didn't
Okay.
tell anyone. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a
Sorry.
personal matter. That being said, Prissa was about to offer, she's going to send her bunny out to see if her parents are home. If they are, no. If they aren't, hey, let's go to a party at my house.
Okay. Roll me a D2. 1, they're home. 2, they're not.
D2?
Yep. Just /R space D2. Party at Prissa's house. You all get over to a gnome-sized home.
We step by Gilmore's first, just to get it out of the way.
Well, we can put all our stuff here now that my
We can do that not in session, so we don't waste time in session. So you
Fair
guys
enough.
can play more.
Yeah,
Okay.
fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So we swing by Gilmore's, then we go to Prissa's.
And you start partying in the USA.
Yeah,
I really feel like that would be on Pris's playlist.
Definitely.
If music like that was a thing here, yeah.
Yeah.
Party in the Lyceum.
So I imagine Prissa has been in contact with somebody from Vox Machina, letting them know that we're coming, setting up some type of, or Alarin even. Do you have? He doesn't have a means of communication though, right?
I do not.
I've been contacting Miss Pike about our situation.
Yes,
Alright.
that is very good.
And as clarification, Ilarin can come and go from Grey Skull Keep whenever he wants. Everyone else has to be with him.
Well, this is my home when I'm not living at the Lyceum.
Yeah, it is. It is a bit small for me, at least.
It's
but,
very
it is nice.
large for a gnome's home. Ilarin, you're crunched down a little bit. Doors in, you
I'm outside.
yeah. Yurik, you're very hunched over. Jimmy,
It's,
comfy.
Looks like a cozy home you have.
It used to be a halfling's before he sold everything, and well, my parents bought it from him.
Right. Well,
Perfect.
Thanks for inviting us this time. I was a little sad last time. You didn't even mention you lived in one.
Well, yeah, I do.
It's cozy.
Thank you.
Yes.
so your parents, are they? What do they do for a living? You have
They're professionals.
Professionals.
professional.
I would incite that, but I'm outside.
I would like to incite that, but just half-heartedly, so I'll do it at disadvantage.
Sure. 2 nat 20s, 2 nat 20s, 2 nat 20s. No.
No,
my
23
God.
and 24.
Chris, roll a deception. Your best stat in the game.
Ooh.
She
Sounds about
seems
right.
very uncomfortable with that question. She seems very withholding for that information, and she really does not know how to answer that without reasons. She has reasons, but you don't know what they are. She's clearly not relinquishing the information for a reason.
I see. So they take on like odd jobs and stuff
You
like that.
could say that.
All right. Well,
I mean, it's good.
well, I won't pester you with it. I was
Well,
just
I mean,
curious.
usually people pay them to do certain things, and they take the money.
We're like
Right.
tradesmen.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do not have to tell us if you do not feel comfortable.
Well, I wouldn't mind staying the night over here. It's certainly lovely enough, but
Yeah.
I don't think everybody else is going to be as comfortable.
Yeah, I feel bad that Dorzen can't come in here too.
I mean, it's pretty big, but
Yes, if any of the larger one of us would like to head to Grayskull, I
Dorzen,
will
can you
accompany
see
you there.
inside from out there?
Imagine
I stick
that-
my eye through the window.
I would imagine that Prissa would open the
full
window at that point, so just
Lean
his
the
whole
head
upper
all
body
the way down.
is inside.
Well, we are certainly capable of paying for a stay at the inn now, but yeah,
Also, Sir Falcone, you have an estate here. This is where you live. Remember when you started? This is where you live.
that's right.
We could totally buy an inn.
I-
An entire
I,
inn.
Oh my god!
Didn't we teleport away from
Did they come with us, Yurik?
What?
my retainers?
Yeah, did they?
Oh, they
'cause,
came with you.
Yeah,
Yeah, teleportation is up to a pretty big number.
I'm gonna say they came with you.
Right. Yeah. So you're all welcome to stay. It's my.
We get to see
magnificent
your home
mansion if
too?
you- Well, sure. I was thinking we could have just a small celebration of our victory so far. If you'd want to get a few drinks, maybe.
Let's go. I want to see it. Prissa, I really like your home too, but I want to see it.
I mean, I would like to see it too.
Right. You're welcome.
Just you said it was an estate, right?
By the way, the whole reason I'm pushing this is because I want Yorick to have to come up on the fly with what his home looks like.
Why do you think I mentioned it?
Right.
Describe everything.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
No, but
So-
what I was gonna say is, shoot, I had something. Oh yeah, sorry, I was asking you. You said it was an estate, right?
Yes. Well.
Well, if you meet my parents, don't tell them that.
Okay.
They'll just get
they might-
horribly. They'll get horribly jealous.
Prissa, your
It's,
house is lovely. I'm sure they wouldn't feel bad at all if just because people have nicer houses doesn't mean that you can't appreciate a smaller house.
Well, they might appreciate it too much, and get jealous of it.
Yeah,
But
that's
let's go see Mr. Sir Yurik's house.
Sure, I am. You're more than welcome.
So, where is your home, Sir Yurik?
Right. So, let's see. Right now we are at. Yeah, I don't. Where exactly did we teleport to again?
Iman.
Is this near Iman?
You are
it's
in Iman.
inside Iman.
All right. It's inside Iman.
I'm not sure what the exact sort of layout of the city is, but I'm sure there's one district that is a bit more.
You're a rich boy. You're in the high district.
Yeah, you're in the High District. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So It's a small and quaint 3-story mansion.
Small and quaint 3-story mansion. Yeah.
I mean, comparatively, right?
I'm not sure how
There's way more
how
grandiose
far I can
manners.
go
All right,
with
so
this thing.
have fun with it. Have fun with it. Go.
Oh, all right.
Do
yeah.
it.
Well, sure. Right. So while we're heading there, I must apologize beforehand because one of the 3 pools is currently under restoration. It's being repaired. But you're welcome to use the other 2. Well, I suppose my private pool is a bit more off limits, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's up here. So I show them to my this sort of gated community where we have a very nice and pleasant neighborhood.
So, the first thing you notice is you go into the Temple District to get to where his home is. Inside of the Temple District, which is the northern area of Amman, it is on the inside of the city walls, but as close to the forestation that if you didn't know there were walls there, you would think that the forest just grows into this area itself. Lining along the streets are different symbols to all of the prime deities that everybody worships inside of this area. There is different templates to every single deity, different shrines along the way. You will find every single god, including the Changebringer and the Raven Queen. Even though hers are more subtly kept, they are given a great deal of respect, as all of the churches inside of the Temple District. Going past these rows of hedges and all of these large temples, you start noticing some of the temples have been fading into mansions and into large estates and properties owned by very well-off individuals. Coming about, I'd say, a quarter mile into this area, you get to a row of hedges that right past it you see comparably a humble mansion with 2 large pools in the front, one of which currently has a group of individuals working upon it, and you can smell the fresh water that's like circulating inside of it. The rows of hedges continue along the gravel walkway up to this very large prime estate that has a large oval-like shape to the front of it, where you walk up and you see almost immediately the doors have been opened by servants for you to a very grandiose foyer, about 30 feet across in either direction, and a chandelier that is far more valuable than anything all of you all own, other than the raw amount of $40,000 in your pocket.
Arrow, is this bigger than Grayskull?
It is. The main building is larger than any specific area or corridor of Grayskull, but the property itself is vastly larger than Grayskull keeps.
I just, while we're on our way there, I want to stop by the temple to both Sarenrae and Bahamut to give us some donations.
10,000 gold each?
Let's see. I'm going to donate 200 to Sarenrae and 100 to Bahamut.
Okay. They definitely know which one you prefer. You've made that clear, respectfully.
Well, Sarenrae is my god, though. So.
Yeah, that's my god.
Yeah.
So
She's my boo.
Girlfriend.
you look at the fantastic foyer with 2 sets of staircases that round around the outside and lead up to a large walking balcony that has different rows of corridors leading in all the different manners and different directions. And immediately your attendants drop your stuff off, and other attendants come over to pick them all up and check on them, check on you. And one of the head ones walk over and gives you a slight bow. And
Thank you very much. I brought some friends. We're going to have a small feast, I think, tonight.
Feast, shall I inform the rest of the courts?
No, this is a private celebration.
Very well. Your father is still in his study. He should be finished with his research, and when he decides he is done. Do you wish for me to make your presence known to him?
Sure, just you don't have to disturb him too much. Just a slight notification would be sufficient, I suppose.
I will inform
Also,
him around lunchtime.
Yes, and also I would like to request a. I think Bastion deserves a proper massage and bath
Of course.
after his troubles.
Of course. Would you like us to prepare baths for the rest of you? Looking at the, despite prestidigitation, dirty-looking folk.
Yes, I think we're all in need of it.
Very well, sir.
No offense, Prissa, but
I know magic has its limits.
yeah, it's
So
proper bath once in a while. Never.
all of you are given fantastic. Oh yeah, he has his own horse masseur. He lives on the estate. His entire purpose and job is he's like, my horse needs a massage, and that's it. That's his entire existence. Just massage my horse.
Indoors and hire for said massage.
I mean, you're not.
They're laying on neighboring beds next to one another.
Of
Yeah,
course.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dorson can also get one, but if it seems like he's about to start developing a fifth leg, then
Of course.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, we've had this discussion already. Centaurs are spiders.
yeah.
Oh god.
But anyways.
So
You look at the grandiose home, very well sequenced, very old home as well. It looks like it seems to have been renovated more appropriately. Maybe it has received some type of atrocity in the past, and considering what Amon has gone through in the past 100 years, it's to stand reasonable that this might have had to have been reconstructed and rebuilt after what had happened. Now, looking around, all of you are shown to your own rooms, all in the same exact corridor as each other. You fill up half of the rooms in this corridor, where you see that a few of them are conjoined with double doors that can walk into each other, where there appears to be your own personal baths set up in each of these rooms. You can open the doors to yell across to each other. You have attendants coming in, filing your nails, brushing your hair, taking care of your clothing, washing it for you as you bathe. They will wash you for you. Everything and everything you need.
Does it seem like Yorick takes care of his help?
Roll insight.
And the bathroom after Alarn has been there is wet from wall to wall.
Of course.
21.
He shakes dry.
You start having mild conversations with all of them. You glean that the Falcone family pays them a reasonable wage for servants, which is not terribly high. They are given their own quarters. That's kind of like a communal sleeping area. And his father is the one who owns this estate and everything inside of it, as well as the one who takes care of them and pays their wages, which is okay. However, you also glean that Sir Yorick deserves and has attained a level of respect from each of them. In different varying fondness, they tell of different stories, like the one time their child got sick in the middle of the winter, and Sir Yorick rode out there on Bastion to take them and bring them to a proper church, and paid out of pocket to have them healed before he started his teachings under Saren Ray. You hear stories of him paying them advancements on their wages when they came down with other illnesses and sicknesses, and they needed expansions on their homes, as well as, for many of them, just a general appreciation and checkup on them, even after they've done their duties, where he goes out of his ways to their corridors to check on them and ask if everything is okay and to care for them. The Falcone Castle does not care for them terribly much. Sir Yorick does tremendously.
Not gonna lie, when you mentioned Bastion, from then on when you were describing that, I just imagined Bastion was the one doing all this stuff, and so Yorick was just tagging along.
Are you sure we have to pay? Okay.
I'm actually a familiar.
Yes. Unbeknownst to all of you, Bastion's been the PC the whole time.
Yeah.
But
He's an
anyways.
arch wizard.
But anyways. As you have all been enjoying yourselves and gathering yourselves, enjoying the treatment that you so rightfully deserve, the evening winds down, and you're all given a little bit of rest, a little bit of time, a little bit of tinkering, if you wish, before you decide what it is exactly you're all going to go out and do in the coming future. So, under that note, I think that's where we're going to end it for the evening. We'll be back again next week. Definitely tune in. Don't miss out on this. It's been a lot of fun, everybody, and everybody who's come by, given us a follow, and hung out for a little bit. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. For anybody who might be watching in the future, I hope that you enjoyed what we are doing, and you can tune in and enjoy the show and festivities along with us. So, players, thank you for playing. One thing.
Before we let it go, I want to ask Yorick, is there a proper name for this place? Does it have a title?
Falcone Estate.
All right.
Ooh.
Falcone Estate.
Enough for me.
Good enough. He came up with that on the fly. But anyways, thank you everybody for hanging out with us today. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and goodbye.